Hi, folks. Irongeek here. Quick audio check to make sure things are actually going to work when I try to play a particular video.
And we hope that they let us come back year after year.
So let's see if that comes through on delay. I wish I could rely on everything, but I'm always worried about sound issues. Sound usually is my biggest pain in the butt whenever I do almost anything AV related at a con, and even when it's not a con. I have a buddy coming by before long, so it would be a short distraction, and no one else has joined because this isn't my normal night for actually casting. But I think I'd go with Amanda's talk, which was really good, from B-Sides Nashville. She was the keynote speaker this year, and a lot of it had to do with InfoSec and mental health. So I'll be covering it and making this a commentary. Some people hate it when I do commentaries, but my commentary would be largely positive on Amanda's. I'm just going to add my own thoughts to it, and hopefully the thoughts of anybody else who happens to join later on. And I don't hear my video playing in the background. That's not a good sign. The thoughts of anybody else who happens to join later on. All right, let's see. Audio check to make sure things are actually going to work when I try to play a particular video. Yes, you can tell we have high production values here.
And we hope that they let us come back year after year.
Okay, that actually sounds pretty good. We can work with this. I think we can work with this. Anyway, this is Amanda Berlin's talk, aka InfoSense's talk from B-Sides Nashville this year. And I'd like the topic matter on mental illness and InfoSec, hackers, hugs, drugs, and I really need to work on how I put my metadata into YouTube. If anybody knows better automated ways of doing that, let me know. I've scripted out a lot of the stuff I do. That's why I get videos up as fast as I have. But my YouTube metadata game could still use some improvement. So we're going to watch some of this talk with Amanda and then continue from there. And while I'm thinking about it, let me actually get a link up so people could watch it if they want. I got to go into Twitter and post this. There we go. And that's tweeted out. Cool. Let us know what. Snowball is asking about when it started. Well, it's now started. Oh, someone joined. What we got?
That's just me. I think I got it fixed now.
Awesome. Let me move this aside and try to get all my windows oriented in just the right way. The key feature of OS X that I really do dig is how you can have multiple desktops and easily switch between them, and it just does that pretty well. So how you doing this evening, John?
Doing just fine. How you going, Adrian?
More or less okay. You know, dealing with the issues that Amanda talks about in her talk, which is one of the reasons I'm covering it. So, you know.
Right. Looking forward to it.
So I am going to turn on my desktop sharing. Anybody tweets anything at me, you'll probably go get seen. Hey, Snowball, how you doing?
Hello.
Oh, wait, you just joined?
Yeah.
I was saying hello to your Twitter because I just switched to your screen. But, yeah. Hi, Denise.
Hello.
So what we're going to do is we're going to watch InfoSisters talk. I'm assuming you follow Amanda Berlin?
Yes, I do.
We're going to go over a talk. It was a good talk at B-Sides Nashville. I think we'll all just add like some community commentary to it. Now, some people hate it when I add commentary to videos. But in this case, I like Amanda, so I'm not going to say anything bad about her. I might just disagree on a few things and then add some other thoughts to the subject. But that's pretty much what we're going to do this time around because I just want to kill time and make a in-between Irongeek Cast. Sound good, folks?
Sounds good.
All right, we're going to begin by watching some of her talk now. And, oh, who else is replying to me? That's you again. All right, what is that, your avatar from?
The Secret Life of Pets.
That is definitely one crazy looking bunny rabbit.
He was crazy. He was great in that movie.
Haven't seen it.
Just YouTube, the best of Snowball.
Best of Snowball. Okay, hold on a second. We got Amanda open here, so let me open up another YouTube. Best of. Actually, you know what? This will get me a copyright strike, possibly. We'll watch very little of it.
Yeah, the best of Snowball, Secret Life of Pets.
Pausing for copyright strike.
Whoa, you see that?
Us and Pfeffer.
Yeah, give me a second. Oh, hey there, cute little bunny.
Avoiding copyright strike again by adding some content.
What you doing? Wrong.
Oh, it's so cute.
Yeah. Oh, this is the crappy one, but watch him. He goes ballistic.
So it's like the rabbit from what is that crazy rabbit in Monty Python?
I don't remember the name, but yeah, it reminded me of them. That's why I took it.
The killer rabbit.
Well, let's go ahead and play Amanda's video because I know I can't get a copyright strike for that. I don't know how many YouTube videos you follow, but man, people, the automated testing for copyright strikes is a massive pain in the ass.
Yeah, I agree. I have some videos that I did on Camtasia, and I really do need to get my website because I did some really good Unix stuff that is recorded.
Yeah, YouTube. Well, sometimes people will like play some music in the background of their talk, and it'll get on my YouTube video, and then it gets demonetized, which isn't a huge issue. I don't make much off of YouTube, but you know, until I start my cam whoring career, I have to have money someplace, right?
Yeah, right.
So far, my ChatUbate account hasn't made any money.
Oh, that's so gross.
Anyway, let's watch Amanda's talk.
So just keep that in mind. Find a trash can.
Oh, by the way, this picture here of like the great.
Last Supper.
Last Supper, yes. I am in this picture. This is my finger pointing up right now.
That's awesome.
But I was hidden behind Godfix. So
Okay. And with that, I guess I should introduce my favorite unicorn this week. And the only person I know who will wear a unicorn onesie with me, Amanda Berlin. You may have seen Amanda at such events as DerbyCon, Circle City Con, GurCon, DEF CON, and basically all of the cons where she likes to run around, talk, and tell everybody what she wants to, whatever she's thinking. And we gave her a platform today to do that.
that lady on the left is Lauren, great lady. I refer to her as a human corgi because her hair is kind of like a corgi. She's short. She has had pet corgis in the past, and a corgi was bred to hood. It's a hooding animal. So basically, she nips people at the heels so they do what she wants to do and gets B-Sides Nashville done.
Nice.
So basically, she is a human corgi. She nips at people's heels so they get the stuff done, and it's so far worked for the last 4 years of B-Sides Nashville, which is one of my two favorite B-Sides. It and Cleveland are in competition. Cleveland has All Day Bloody Marys. They can't have that at B-Sides Nashville because it's held at a Christian college, but they do have some good barbecue. Oh, it's good. Oh, and they even have potato salad I like. They didn't have it this year, but Martin's Barbecue. I mean, they had this brisket that just like falls apart in your mouth.
Is anybody going to DEF CON this year? I think I may go.
I plan on going.
I'm going.
Yeah,
I have one organizer that likes me and one organizer that hates me, so it's all good.
I forgot to do something. No.
I should have zoomed in. Also, I realized that
I'm sorry.
my aspect
I don't do this very
ratio is
often,
screwed up, I
as
think.
everybody knows who knows me. No, I forgot to do it. I missed something. Yeah, I'm sorry. I threw myself off. Amanda is an information security architect who has spent over a decade in different areas of technology and sectors, providing infrastructure support, triage, and design. And with that, Amanda Berlin.
The video is coming through, right? The video is coming through on y'all's ends, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can see it.
Cool.
Yay, thank you, Lauren.
That's your last number.
It is.
Okay.
I really should have zoomed. Amanda didn't move. I could have zoomed in. So many people were walking the stage, but she stood still.
No, this is not pressure. Did you lick the connector first?
That's probably my dongle down there. Those two guys are talking about licking, just to let y'all know.
Shake it, blow it, stick it back in. Woo!
Beautiful OS 10 default background.
No heckling from the front row.
Heckling from the back row, and also about 3 days after the con.
Perfect. Yeah, is it, can you guys hear me all right?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, sweet. Well, first off, welcome to Nashville. Is everybody excited to be here?
Yay!
Yay! Awesome.
Are we in the post hoc audience excited to be here?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So this is my first keynote. I'm super excited. Thank you so much for the B-Sides Nashville organizers for inviting me to come out and speak. So first, I thought I'd start off with a little bit of a story. About, gosh, now it's been like 8 years ago or so. My youngest son was 1. My oldest son, which is back there, was 7 at the time. And I lived in a super shitty house in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. Now I live in a better house in the middle of nowhere in Ohio. And I realized for the first time something was wrong with me, something more than the obvious. I was progressively getting sadder and sadder throughout the day. And I was in the shower, and I had just recently gotten out getting ready for bed at night. And I like broke down. I started bawling my eyes out on the floor of the bathroom. My husband ran in. He thought something was super wrong, that like I was leaving him or if I was dying or something, you know, super serious. About a half an hour later, I was finally calmed down enough to actually speak. This GIF is probably the best representation I can give of how I was feeling on the inside. My mind was static. It physically hurt to try and speak. And this is exactly how I felt. I don't like to use the word triggered unless I'm making fun of people.
Triggered.
But
oh, if you have any comments at any point in time, just start speaking up, and I'll try my best to pause it real quick. Okay?
All right.
I'll tell you the thing that tipped me over the edge or triggered me was that my shower curtain was dirty. Now, I felt so incredibly stupid and immature because that's not something that you should break down and have like a physical breakdown about, right? So looking back at all of it now, a lot of the anxiety problems that I had was due to cleanliness, right? I didn't have much control of, you know, not going into too much personal detail, but I didn't have much control over the things that were happening in my life.
I have a weird idea in my head right now. You think the cleanliness factor may depend somewhat between blue team and red team? Like if you're blue team, you naturally want something ordered, you want to know what's going on, you want things to be fixed. Versus
Yes, I would have to say I agree with that because I tend to be put on blue teams at work. And my boss says I'm meticulous to a point. Like I catch things that last week we went through some testing, and I found something wrong. It was, you know, a very minor thing. And he was like, well, that's why we have you do remediations, you know, like fixing stuff. Because I really love doing red teaming stuff, but it seems my company always puts me on blue team stuff. Because I'm a nitpicker.
I imagine OCD can be useful for some things.
Yeah, yeah.
And even when I realized something was wrong, I didn't talk about it. I internalized everything, and I figured, you know, at the ripe age of 25, I had been through so much, I could take care of everything myself. So why in the world am I bringing this up at an InfoSecCon? First, I consider a lot of you like my family. You understand me more than a lot of people ever have in my life. You understand each other. When I began talking about my anxiety and depression problems to, you know, tweeting it, talking to people at conferences or whatever, I realized that a lot of people in InfoSec seem to struggle with the same kind of things. They just don't like to talk about it. And not only that you're struggling with it, but you're trying to, you know, tackle everything on your own like I did for a good 10 years or so. It's my goal to try and make it as public as possible and without stigma, to be able to talk to whoever about it, whether it be a professional or one of us. Let's see here. So we never want to admit anything's wrong with us. What's the first step of almost any 12-step program? Yeah, admit you have a problem, acceptance, right? But not only do you have to admit that you have a problem, you have to admit to yourself that you need to do something about it. Otherwise, you're not going to get any further. You're just going to spiral deeper down into whatever problems that you're currently having.
You guys have problems?
Oh,
Yeah.
Too many to list.
I'd be self-diagnosed. I hate to sound like someone who has a Tumblr account, but I would definitely say I have some OCD and some depression and anxiety from time to time. Not so much the anxiety. Go ahead.
I've been suffering from severe anxiety lately.
So going to that, apparently, women have more of a tendency, from her research, on depression and anxiety, and men have more of like antisocial and something else. She's going to actually go into that in a little bit.
So not only do people in our industry have the normal stresses of like a 9-to-5 job and family and stuff like that, but I feel like we have more stresses than a lot of other professions. This is our passion. This is our hobby. I assume none of you are here because you have to be. Because
I feel like I had to be there. Otherwise, the human corgi would have came and nipped at my heels till I got there.
Would that suck? The InfoSec community is different than any other. You're driven, passionate, opinionated, and when you put all of that together with even with some of the professions that we do, like incident response, or when you're dealing with child trafficking, a lot of the professions that are out there have to deal with a lot of these sensitive subjects that tack on extra stress from all the other normal stuff that we do. It also makes it, the professions that we're in, we're driven to those because we.
You like that cartoon? Heard someone chuckle. Or it could be my imagination.
Have the ability to sit behind a keyboard for hours on end without any human interaction. So I'm going to talk about some of the research I was able to do. Over the last several months, I've read a lot of medical journals that were probably way over my head. But I learned a lot of really interesting stuff. So when I started searching for, stuff to talk about, the first thing I did was I Googled mental health issues in STEM fields. And there were 6 million articles that came up on Google. 4 million had to do with women. But 70% of our industry or more are men. So I thought that was a little interesting. I know the sexes are different when it comes to mental health issues. Women are more likely to be diagnosed with anxiety or depression, while men go towards like substance abuse or antisocial disorders.
Now, would that be your experience in that? I'm not sure. I've heard that also. Before Amanda ever did this talk, I actually read up on it and had seen data to that extent. But then again, I've also known a lot of dudes in tech who are very depressive. I don't know about anxiety or not. Like, I have weird anxiety. One-on-one with people, I have some anxiety. If I'm talking to a group of people, like I'm on stage, I don't really have anxiety. Folks, thoughts?
You know, sometimes when a man has a certain condition, it's usually sometimes it's categorized differently if it's a woman. I know when a woman has something like a narcissistic personality disorder or borderline personality disorder, it's just called antisocial disorder in males.
Yeah, women tend to get diagnosed with borderline personality more so than men, but men will get antisocial personality disorder diagnosed quicker than women. I would agree with that.
But both are kind of antisocial after a fashion. I mean, okay, have you heard of cluster B personality disorders?
Yes.
I've known. All right, I can think of a couple of men with them. I can think of quite a few women I know in InfoSec who I would, granted, I'm not a psychiatrist, who I know who seem to have some cluster B personality disorders. But you're saying that sometimes professionally they're diagnosed as antisocial instead of, like, let's say.
Yeah, when it's the same thing.
Yeah.
They have the same effect on people. Their interactions with other people have the same amount of destruction, if you want to call it that. Even though it's the same disorder, it's classified differently.
Agreed. I think I read a paper somewhere where they explicitly stated that. That even though the DSM qualifications for a diagnosis, depending on the sex, we're just purely looking at the mathematical of it, that women will get like, histrionic personality, borderline personality, but men will be more so than not to be classified as antisocial.
But which labeling actually has a worse stigma behind it?
I think it's the antisocial, because you would associate that with sociopaths. And I think that's kind of an unfair diagnosis, because men tend not to express their feelings the way women do. Therefore, I think men get a raw deal in mental health diagnosis. And women are more likely to seek out mental health than men are. So when men do it, they're, really reaching out for help. Or if they're mandated to go for, mental health, there's a resentment there. So I don't think the person doing the diagnosing is getting the full picture when it comes to men. And I'm speaking from a general perspective, not, all men, more so than not. I just want to make that clear.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Also, anybody with a narcissistic type of personality disorder, they're the type of person that very few of them think they need help at all. It's always someone else's problem. And the minute they are convinced to actually see a therapist or a psychotherapist about it, they stop going after one or two meetings, because they're pretty much being told, look, this is your fault. Stop acting like an asshole. It's when it comes to NPD, it's not like a form of psychosis, even though it is classified as psychosis. They actually do know right from wrong, and they know what they're doing.
Right.
I see you got Robin Williams up there. That brings up another subject, a gender disparity in suicide. Women apparently have more problems or more issues with depression statistically, at least according to the research Amanda did. And I remember reading similar papers that said much the same thing. But men have a much, much greater suicide rate. I don't remember what it is. However, I've also read, and now this one I'm going to have a hard time sourcing because I remember coming across it, men and women's attempts are about the same.
And men are more successful at it.
Because, not to sound, I get enough shit online about some of the things I say about gender, but I get the impression that women care more about leaving a pretty corpse than men do.
I'm not sure that's it. I just think from a perspective of you know, when you get that low where you don't want to live anymore, it's not so much of worrying about leaving a pretty corpse. It's, you know,
I
men
just
they
don't women,
have
go ahead. Sorry.
men will generally, like, from what I've seen, from suicide attempts, men usually will use a firearm where women will go for the pills.
Yes, and poison is not particularly always effective because your body naturally goes, "Oh shit, I'm poisoned. I'm gonna throw up."
Exactly.
And you may screw up your kid. I know a dude who tried to kill himself with some kind of medicine for overdosing. And I think all he actually accomplished was screwing up some internal organs.
Right.
But yeah, but that was my understanding also. Men a lot of times resort to, firearms and so forth, which if it's a sufficient caliber and you put it beside your head, there's
Right.
not much you can screw up there. I mean, you're going to die. or hanging. I had a friend of mine from high school. Well, no, middle school technically. And then I met him up again in college. And he had bad depression and eventually hung himself, which sucked. Anyway, on to less depressive things. The other sad thing is I remember him. I used to work at Walmart and with his wife at the time. And I have a very good memory of his firstborn son, like, puking on his shirt there in the Walmart as we were sitting there back at the sporting goods area. And his son has grown up since then because this was like circa 1993, 94 or something. And since then, his son has grown up to basically look like him. Oh, never mind. I'm going into a little depressive mode. I'm going to play this more.
The hypothesis I was trying to prove is that, or try and find somebody else that had actually done the scientific research to prove, is that it seemed like people in STEM fields had a higher tendency to have mental health problems. You know, if you look back through history, there were a lot of extremely smart or extremely creative people that struggled a lot with a range of mental health problems. One that I found was the Savannah IQ interaction hypothesis, and it talks about two things. One thing, the first thing it talked about was that the higher intelligence that you have, the more likely you are to be either bipolar or depressed. So I want to read a quote from, it's a huge long medical paper, so I'm just going to read a couple sentences. The finding of an association between progressively increasing risk of bipolar disorder and high arithmetic intellectual performance is rather surprising. They explained that the arithmetic test requires not only mathematical skill, but rapid information processing for the purpose of successfully completing the timed exam. High scorers with such rapid processing power may also share a tendency to experience mania, which is one of the halves of manic depression, which is a state of high focus and high psychomotor activity. The second part of that hypothesis talks about how people of higher intelligence are more likely to self-medicate. And they did a lot of scientific research and went back.
Hunter S. Thompson. That's a mother who probably did self-medicate a whole hell of a lot. I haven't read a whole lot of his work. I know he was a Louisville native originally, so that has some groundings for me because I was born in Louisville and still live very close. It's kind of, he ended up taking himself out. I don't remember exactly what his deal was. I guess he thought he was past his hump. Y'all recall much about Hunter S. Thompson?
Yeah, I can't remember how he killed himself or why.
You know, through the years, looking at different things, you know, with medicating with booze, prescription drugs, non-prescription drugs, that kind of stuff. It kind of shows you how many of you have watched Mr. Robot? All right, good. If you haven't, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but it shows how much research that they've kind of put into that show, because the main character, Elliot, self-prescribes a lot. He takes you know, a specific set of measurement of morphine, and then like counteracts it with Suboxone and does his own. Well, I don't recommend doing any of that. That's what they do. And
now, when I think of self-medication, I most often think in infosec, at least, of alcohol.
Yes.
But there is other ones. I mean, do you all know anybody who self-medicates in other ways?
I take a prescription. I mean, my doctor medicates me, but that's partly because I do have a genuine physical injury. I broke my neck a couple of years ago.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know, it wasn't fun. And I damaged my spinal cord, so I'm constantly in muscle spasms. So they put me on a muscle relaxer. But I will say that when my stress goes up, I definitely hit that bottle a little harder than I normally would.
Yeah, I guess I sort of self-medicated for quite a while, and I sometimes want to go back with Adderall just to get myself up in the morning. I quit that a while back, though, because they make you take random drug tests to make sure that you are taking it. And the BS, because one, they charge you $100 and something to do the test. But you show up and they randomly say, oh, yeah, you got to piss. I can't piss on cue. So I have to go back home, drink some water, come back in a couple hours later. But by that time, I could have taken the Adderall anyway. So what is the point of doing the tests?
I think it's more so for compliance. I have a friend that is in pain management. She's on morphine and Oxycontin and a whole cocktail of painkillers. And she has to get drug tested.
Yeah, I have a friend. She's on painkillers because of an injury she got in high school from doing some silly stunt. But she has developed such a freaking tolerance to it that if you do the same things to her husband, it would kill him. I mean, even though he's 100 pounds heavier, probably, she has developed such a tolerance that they have to keep giving more and more to her.
Yeah, that was my fear, because when I went to pain management, they wanted to put me on morphine and Oxycontin for breakout pain, because obviously breaking your neck is not a pleasant experience. It's quite painful. And I was like, no, because when I am in severe, like, oh my God, I'm going to die pain, I want it to be able to be controlled. So, I made the decision myself that I was just going to like, screw it. I'm taking control of this pain. The only thing they absolutely make me take is a muscle relaxer, because if I don't, the spasms pull my spine and it'll just cause more damage.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I only take, and it's 5 milligrams of oxycodone with the acetaminophen, and they'll give me a month's prescription that'll last me 3 months.
That's Percocet, right?
Yeah, that's Percocet, and it's the lowest dose. And actually, it's a 15-day prescription, and it lasts me for 3 months, because I'm telling you, I ever have to go back into the hospital again with serious spine pain, which I probably will, because once you injure your spine, it's like a revolving door. They better be able to take care of my pain.
Gotcha.
So that's why I was very frightened. And I come from a very, very poor and, inner city background, and I've seen opiates take people's lives. And I worked my ass off to get my degrees. And I work for a really good company, and I am damn skippy not giving that up for drugs.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what it's like to be dirt poor, and I own 2 houses, and sometimes when I do experience physical pain, I think of that. I think of the rundown ghetto that I grew up in, and I get in my soaking tub with a glass of wine, and I just ride out the storm.
I just get a fifth of vodka.
I do drink. I have to admit, I've become quite of a Maker's Mark kind of gal.
I like making vodka as far as bourbon's concerned. I need to cut back, though, because it's adding to my waistline. I've lost
my... I'm also with more. I've also started getting down with the martinis. I looked up what your drink says about you, and it says martini says you're a complete alcoholic. So, yay!
I'm trying to find a certain picture I posted here fairly recently. No, it's not Amanda signing my moob. It's not that shirt. It's designed to drive me out of InfoSec. That's me oppressing her book. Let's see. I got it here someplace. Where is it? Oh, yeah. Oh, wait. I got overshot. Becoming Captain Caveman isn't normal. Well, on InfoSec, it is. InfoSec, not even once. And my beard is far wilder than that because that was like 3 or 4 months ago.
That's awesome.
My beard now has its own Twitter account.
I saw that.
Anyway, we'll continue this.
The TV show, and that's a good gist of at least half of that paper. So let's move on to some more statistics. Not only does the Savannah IQ interaction hypothesis talk about this, that's me. Like, I'll order another beer just to pick off more labels. The University of Berkeley did a study that showed that 42 to 48% of STEM graduates suffer from depression. That's compared to 7% of the rest of the United States.
We some depressed motherfuckers.
I have a theory as to why that is.
What, just want the quote up here?
On why STEM people suffer from depression far more than other people.
Lay it on me, Snowball.
All right, so here's what I think. I'm not a psychologist, I'm a STEM person. I think STEM people in general, we like to solve problems, we like to fix it. And things in life happen that we cannot fix. And I think that is an issue for us. I know it is for me. I see things and I'm like, I want to fix this. And I can't. So it's that feeling of hopelessness that you can't do anything about it. And that spirals into like a depression.
Something you think you should be able to control, but you can't, and it freaks you out?
Yes, absolutely.
I can see that.
Sense when you look at the Google results. It's not that you guys aren't having problems. I know a lot of you. You just aren't talking about them, or you're not getting help for them. 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness. That's an amazing percentage. Yeah. So all of this, 1 in 5 of us, right? If you look around, and we think that everybody else has it together way better than we do. A lot of people talk about imposter syndrome, which imposter syndrome is thinking that you shouldn't be doing what you're doing because you don't know enough or you don't have enough experience. Kind of runs hand in hand with thinking everybody else has it together, right? You think, the person next to you, they're rocking it, they're super happy all the time, but that might not necessarily be true. This is definitely me. I'm one of the 1 in 25.
Oh my God.
Had some part of my inner self.
1 in 25? Wait. Oh, yeah, okay.
Completely screw up a major activity in my life. I found that the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force recommends that all adults be screened for depression. When I read that, my mind went in a million different directions. I thought, all right, well, it's the U.S. government telling us that, and all right, so is it just everybody in the U.S. should be screened? Like, why is it just why do they think that we all need screened? Is it our diet? Is it our government? Is it what is it? Is it I mean, in the grand scheme of things, we have it pretty good, right? Other countries, obviously deal with a lot more than we do.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they got it good then. It does seem that sometimes people who actually have life, at least outside observance-wise, who have it better in some ways, are more likely to commit suicide. Give you an example. Poverty rates amongst African Americans are much higher than poverty rates amongst white Americans. but white Americans kill themselves more often than black Americans. That seems like a little bit of an oddity.
Well, white people are stupid.
That does happen. Did someone else just join? I'm gonna go look over this other screen. Oh, hey Cameron, what's up?
What's going on, bud? Did you make it home?
I finally made it home. I was confused by your text message because I was like, "Wait, you're coming to my house, dude? I'm not even home yet."
Yeah, I knew. I saw you because of the fucking Facebook. You know that tracks you everywhere that you go. I'm like, this motherfucker's right across the goddamn river, and I was already on my way over there because I had to go to Covington to drop my car off. I had it washed today, so
I was driving through because you live in the Cincinnati area. Is that where you live?
Yeah, I live right downtown, dude.
Okay. Yeah, I was driving back home. I basically had to go from B-Sides Nashville to a work site, then back home. So I haven't been home in a while, and I have a bunch of bills that my uncle I need to pay.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, my uncle passed away a couple months ago.
I remember.
So I got to take care of all that stuff. So, and the funny thing is, some of them are still coming in my granddad's name, and he died in like the early '80s.
It's gonna be like that for a while, bro. I'm sorry to tell you. Yeah, it doesn't change because I remember when my grandmother was still alive, I was getting mail from my grandfather. Hell, a decade after he had passed, at least.
Happens. Oh well.
Yeah. So. Oh man.
It was just like a first world problem, depression. But I think when you're or speeding your way down, thinking, oh,
the one thing that I liked.
By the way, don't vape into the microphone.
Oh, sorry, I got a headset on. Sorry. So the one thing that I will critique this talk over is she didn't differentiate between an actual psychological issue such as bipolar / manic depressant versus borderline personality disorder. And what's the difference between the two? Well, a personality disorder is learned. That's a learned behavior. While being bipolar is an actual chemical imbalance. That's two very, very different things. Now,
so did you watch the talk in its entirety already?
Do what?
Have you watched the talk in its entirety already?
I haven't. I've only gotten to about where you're at.
Maybe stuff about chemicals in a bit.
Okay, because it's right around this time. I had to cut loose, but I watched most of it. To about halfway mark. And I was like, wow, she did a really great job. So, yeah. But that's the only thing is I didn't see a differentiation between actual disorders versus chemical imbalances. And as I said, disorders like borderline personality disorder and what's the other one that's really prevalent?
Narcissistic. NPD.
Well, it could be narcissism. That's a typical one, but it's any personality disorder, any one of them. Even schizoid personality disorder. I have schizoid personality disorder. That means I have a tendency to behave like someone who has schizophrenia. That's a learned mechanism. All right, now try to unlearn that mechanism. Well, fuck, you had to go through some fucked up shit to get that shit in the first place. Reversing that is, oh my God, impossible, right? Well, no, not really, but it takes a hell of a lot of work. So that's my only thing, but I thought she did a great job.
I think she did very well on this.
It's good talk.
Different types of mental health and some of the symptoms. I'm not going to go through everything because there's a million different mental health problems out there. I'm going to go through some of the more common ones. When I talk about the symptoms, don't just pay attention to like the shit going inside the brain. There's a lot of physical symptoms that manifest themselves when there's issues going on. First is social anxiety disorder or general anxiety disorder. A lot of people have the same symptoms. So some common symptoms, and I didn't memorize all these, so I'm gonna have to read them. There's a lot of different symptoms. Fear of situations where you might be judged. Worrying about embarrassing or humiliating yourself. Concern that you'll offend someone. Intense fears of talking to others, like making phone calls. Fear of physical symptoms that might cause you embarrassment, such as flushing, stuttering, trembling, that kind of stuff. Avoiding situations where you might be the center of attention, like standing up front on stage and talking to people. Getting anxiety in anticipation of a feared event, just like 20 minutes ago when I was sitting up there. Spending time after a social situation, analyzing your performance and identifying your flaws in your interactions. Expecting the worst possible outcome out of any social situation. Now you say to yourself, these might be things that you feel, every now and then.
See, I don't have anxiety, but I will admit, I have more people who say good things to me than bad things, but I do fixate on the bad things.
I have anxiety. So, like, I'm a sick prick. I do have bipolar. I do have severe depression. I do have borderline personality disorder. I do have my Massachusetts standard of mental health is 4 pages long. But anyways, like, yeah, I have anxiety, like, legit, and I've been on this crap most of my life, so I have to take medicine for it, because if not, I freak out all the time. But I don't know, I've definitely reduced them, and that's kind of difficult. But
she's going to talk more about meds and chemical issues later on.
Yeah.
My personal thing is the only drug that ever did me any good was Adderall, as far as getting me up in the morning. It may have
Dude, I just went off 60 mils.
of Adderall.
Yeah.
Wait, 60 milligrams is pretty fucking high.
Yeah. Yeah, they cut me off. They cut me off 60 mils. That's the federal limit of like how
20 when I stopped.
Yeah, they cut me at 60.
Okay.
They cut me at 60. They took the meds from me.
You weigh about half what I do. Shit.
And I was on 200 mils of Provigil.
I know of it, but I don't know what it is. I've heard it the term. They tried a few different things on me. None of them actually helped depression. So I basically just stopped taking them. None of them actually did me any good. Adderall the only thing did me good, but the drug tests for Adderall are too fucking much of a pain in the ass for me to deal with.
Amen to that. That's kind of the reason why I'm not on it anymore.
Oh, you're not on Adderall anymore?
No. As I said, they took that from me. They took my oxycodone. Took that from me. I took the Provigil from me, which, by the way, that's a sleep antagonist. So it tells your brain, because like my ADD, or my ADHD, I should say, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, is so intense that like the Adderall actually kind of makes me sleepy. So I'm kind of a weirdo in that resort. And that's
for kids' physiology. Like Adderall is given for attention deficit disorder, and an adult, generally speaking, that wouldn't work. But somehow kids react sometimes in the opposite way to stimulants.
Yeah.
So you have a childlike demeanor.
I'd say it's a little bit more in a demeanor, but
I've heard some people do have that inverse effect on Adderall.
Yeah, it's the same with Coke.
It hyped me up. It got me awake, got me out of bed, made me not eat as much.
Yeah, because it's a stimulant.
It may have made me drink just as much, though, because I couldn't sleep at night.
You drink more. You drink more because that shit, like, you can't, you don't feel your alcohol on it. So you drink more and more and more and more. You get absolutely sloshed and not realize how fucked up you are.
Well, that's not positive. Well,
Well,
it's not a positive long term.
no. No, but you can bar hop like insane on that stuff.
Good way to kill your liver, though.
Yeah. Adderall in general, I don't think is very healthy for the human body. Simply because of like how much physical stress it puts on you.
Well, it's essentially chemically, it's not that different from crystal meth, is it? I'm ignorant on this issue. I gotta admit.
It's like two.
It is methamphetamine.
Right. It's an amphetamine. It's not a methamphetamine. It's two helixes off of the chemical structure, I believe.
Two helix structures off of what? Cocaine?
No, straight meth
Okay.
versus Adderall.
I know it's a very difficult drug to come off of.
I just came off 60 mils straight.
Really? Did you have any side effects?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry.
It's no biggie. It's just life.
Whatever. But a lot of times in the symptoms, they talk about how it's an intense fear, or it's something that you're always thinking about and obsessing over. I'm not a doctor, but experience any of these or any of the ones I'm going to talk about, and you haven't gotten help, I'll also cover ways to do that. You might avoid normal social situations like using a public restroom, interacting with strangers, eating in front of others. I knew several people that I used to work with that could not. We had like a cafeteria. They couldn't go to cafeteria and eat. They couldn't go to restaurants and eat. They got their food and they would go back to like what they considered their safe spot on their desk or at home or whatever and eat. Making eye contact, initiating conversations. Dating's really fun when you have anxiety. Attending parties or social gatherings, going to work or school.
See, this is one of the things I actually have to wonder about anxiety and dating. And let me pontificate for like about a minute, and then everybody chime in on this. I was reading about a book, this was like 10 years ago, about love shyness. And people who do not have such anxiety that they don't initiate contact with other potential romantic interests. And the basic premise of the book was about gender and sexuality and the differences between them. Basically, the idea is that being love shy was a bigger problem for heterosexual men than it was for other demographics. Because if you're a heterosexual man, whatever the women's movement has done over the 20th century, generally speaking, in general, there is exceptions, of course, men are the ones that make the initial contact. If you're a woman who's love shy, and it does exist, they have anxiety about, talking to a potential suitor, the man will at least hopefully make the first, move so that anxiety is overtaken. If you happen to be a gay dude or a gay woman for that matter, your other partner will make that first move. So even if you're all love shy, that the problem may not be as big. But if you're a heterosexual man, there's a bit of more problem because it's expected that you're the one that makes the first move. And that's all I want to say about that. Any comments?
I'll concur.
I mean, if you're a wallflower man who's heterosexual, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of dates. If you're a wallflower woman who's heterosexual, someone's probably going to ask you out. You may be a little shy about accepting, but I don't know. Snowball, do you have an opinion on that? Or Sandra?
I'm love shy. I'll admit it. My neighbors were always trying to hook me up, and I'm just like not into it.
But does the guy that try to hook you up with at least try to make the first move?
Yes.
And it's every time you're shy, but once the guy actually shows that he has an interest in you, do you become less shy?
Yeah, I think my problem is I'm not a relationship. Like, I don't know. I think I've given up on relationships. Therefore, I don't put an effort. Even when a gentleman really puts the effort into getting to know me, I just tell them I'm a crazy IT person. You really want to back away.
Wigtown. Women going their own way.
Yeah, I mean, because I am a social person. I host a lot of parties at my house and have a really good time. But you know, after the party's over, I like having my house to myself with my pets. That's it.
But is that actually what you want long term?
I think yeah. I think that's. I think I've accepted the fact that I'll just be single for the rest of my life.
How to put it this way? I've accepted that, but I don't like it.
I think one really bad relationship has spooked me.
Hey, Jenny.
Hello.
Hey.
Oh,
Hello.
we also have Sandra who hasn't said anything. Wait, I actually have. Do I have a gender equal freaking cast right now? Unless Sandra happens to be a dude, because I have encountered one Sandra. who happens to be a dude. Anyway, welcome to the cast, Janie.
Be happy, right?
So, do you have anything to comment on what we've talked about so far before we continue with Amanda's talk?
Are you asking me?
Yeah, sure.
What were you guys talking about?
We're talking about Amanda's talk. Okay, to get the gist of what the impromptu Irongeek Cast was about. We're talking about Amanda's talk, which was about mental health and infosec, hackers, hugs, and drugs.
I think there's a lot of mental illness and infosec in general. No, really, like not just mental illness, but just also there's like people who come from backgrounds in which they're like abused and they don't really understand like the effect that abuse has had on them. Like a lot, like I've met a lot of guys whose I guess mothers like abused them and you know didn't treat them well, and now like they allow their significant other, you know, girlfriend or whatever girl they're trying to get with to completely like walk all over them in a similar way, and that has a lot to do with their like upbringing. But maybe that's like different than what you guys are talking about.
Oh yeah, that's complete codependency. That's usually the narcissistic personality disorder woman will totally match up with a guy like that. They start with a love bombing and then they're totally hooked and they're never happy. Neither of them.
So people know. Oh, so I was going to say, go ahead and define love bombing for them. For people who haven't researched cults and such, they probably don't know what love bombing is.
Yeah, love bombing is where one person will start taking an extreme interest in the other person, telling them how wonderful they are, how perfect they are, how they can see themselves with them forever. They tell them they love them right away, and that and it's a huge ego boost for the, well, if you want to call the other person the victim. It's a very big problem.
It doesn't have to involve one person. This is one of the ways that cults get people inside of them. Like
Exactly.
I was watching some stuff on like Scientology and some other cults where they'd love bomb, but then once they have you hooked on that, you know, a constant attention and affection, they would start all right, the pickup artist community would probably call it negging. They would tear you down and make you dependent on the group.
Yeah, you get excited. It's almost like it happens and it can happen everywhere, right? Like when I've met people like American white people who've converted to Islam, the mosque is always like giving him attention, and like people offer to get him a Muslim wife from back home. They're given all these gifts, and so this person like feels like they're so important all of a sudden, and they feel so special. It's like similar to when I guess like people join the military as well. Like they're given like a life, right? Like attention, and they have like friends now, and so that's that's just an example of something that I've seen. But I have a friend right now who in InfoSec, by the way, like I don't want to I hope he's not watching this, like I feel like totally awful about this, but it's so obvious that like he's had a really bad like upbringing, but he's like super talented and super smart, and I'm like trying to like encourage him, but it's so weird how he's like trying to take the relationship like somewhere else, and I just like, you know, keep trying to like shut it off.
I'm having a problem. Sorry, I have a loop back. So I didn't mean to have you playing while my buddy's calling me at the same time. Sorry, continue.
Yeah, I just heard my own echo. But like, I'm also trying to figure out a way, because I think in one of our other video like talks, I said I was like openly trying to help people get jobs, right? So whoever is talented, you know, they can come and reach out to me, and I will see like what skills they have and if they're like a perfect fit for our company or whatever. But like, an example that I'm seeing right now is there's someone who's like obviously very, very talented. They have like no self-esteem though, and it's almost like they're taking like one little thing that I'm saying, like, wow, you know, you're so good at this, but they're taking it like differently. So I'm like trying to be very clear and like where I'm standing, like I'm trying to be very professional, and in a way like it kind of scares me, because this guy is like incredibly nice and talented, and I'm almost like scared that he's gonna like end up meeting some crazy person, like you just said. What was your name? John, that narcissistic personality type. And I'm like, I hope I find like some really cute like InfoSec girl to introduce him to, and not like some psycho girl, because this guy will like, you know, things could go the completely wrong way, assuming like if some person, like the wrong person gets a hold of him and you know, like messes him up. So like that's one of my, you know, worries right now, is like, you know, he's gonna find like some crazy, you know, I don't want to say like crazy bitch, but like I've seen like girls like that, and I'm scared that he's gonna run in, like he's gonna end up finding like getting attention from this type of person and gonna go down like this really bad route. So if you know of any like cute InfoSec girls who wants like a good guy, I can introduce you.
If I knew them, I'd be hitting on them myself.
Sorry?
If I knew them, I would be hitting on them myself.
Okay, but maybe they don't necessarily have to be like InfoSec, but like this is like a whole different tangent, but like I'm aware of this as well, and it's really scary, because I'm scared that like, you know, there are a bunch of these nice people who are going to end up getting like fucked up by these people who like use and abuse them.
I'm a little confused by a lot of men in InfoSec. Well, a good number of them. I look at some of the people they follow and tweet and say things to, and I'm like, okay, this is one particular one, and you probably can figure out who I'm talking about, but I'll keep the name out of it. They have in a social profile the misandrist. They tweet regularly, or often enough that they like the Scum Manifesto, but yet there's still men who will constantly retweet her, like her tweets, and like comment positive on all her tweets, and I'm like, you're a fucking...
So white knighting.
What? I'm confused. I mean, like, it's like if a neo-Nazi was constantly tweeting about how he hates Jews, and some Jewish person was constantly liking their tweets and retweeting them and making positive comments. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah. Oof.
I don't think I understand like your example that well. Maybe it's because I didn't understand what the word what was the word?
Misandry.
Misandry. What is that?
Actually, it's basically the same as misogyny, but gender's reversed.
Okay. Yeah, this is like, there's just some things I'll never understand. Especially like there's this freaking weird like I think it's like best of poll 410 is like some I don't even want to like, I read it this morning, or like actually on the way I was like taking a car and I read it. It was about some cuckold who like who was like in a cage, and he was like waiting for his wife to come back from her boyfriend's. And it was just like, why do these people fucking exist? You know, it's just like, God, I don't want to even like read about that shit. I'm not getting so triggered right now. Just like, why is there so much mental illness here?
I don't want to say it's a mental illness.
How can it not? Oh my God! Like
I'm just being from my experience.
Hi, Jack.
Hey, what's up? My experiences of being the third wheel in that kind of relationship. Typically, it's she was going to cheat anyway. he might as well know who it is.
And the guy was like inside of
But
a
I mean,
camera.
but I mean, I have done things that I would consider quite dickish. There was this.
Okay. I don't think I explained this that well. The guy, he was talking about how his wife put him in a cage for 24 hours before she would have sex with her boyfriend.
What?
Okay.
Yeah, that's some top shit right there.
Oh, shit. All right, Janie, you and I both have a mutual Facebook friend who's into pegging men, and even that is less. Oh man, that's messed up.
I'm gonna have to look up what that means.
Pegging, that's where a woman wears a strap on and rails her significant other. Who
We
happens
have
to
a
be a man.
friend named OK Ultra, great lady. She's apparently into some kind of weird kink scene. I'm not.
Wow, you're exposing people. Damn.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
know, right? Really, that's
Names.
Hey, Janie, in my defense, OK Ultra's pretty public about this on her own timeline.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. You're not exposing her then.
Right?
Yeah.
So, she's a very pretty lady of color who apparently has a thing for pegging men with strap-ons.
And then there's this like wannabe, I don't even know if gender queer person, supposedly person of color who's like totally turned on by her, but doesn't like her because she's of her view, because of her other views, because she's more of a, I don't actually know what her views are. She just likes to troll people.
Who's trying to troll people? My buddy Corey just joined. Hey, Corey.
Who likes pegging. Everyone is just fucking vaping. God.
I'm not vaping.
Well, no,
I need to do
I'm
vaping,
not
though.
vaping. I'm actually smoking.
So am I. That's terrible.
My
Wait.
friend who's in another room is like vaping. And I feel like I'm the only one who's like a normie in the world. And at least San Francisco.
You might be the only normie in San Francisco. That's San Francisco. San Francisco's a little weird.
Yeah.
I loved San Francisco. I guess I'm not a normie because I
like the
fit
weather, but everything else, not so much.
I hate it. I hated it.
I hate the weather here.
What isn't the weather like constantly 70 degrees all the time?
No.
No, it's always
No.
fucking raining.
Oh,
And it's like one season in the beginning of the day and a completely different season by the end of the day.
Yes. I thought that was cool.
I mean, it's okay, but like you always have to carry an umbrella and a like heavy winter coat with you. Even on the day when you're like wearing a miniskirt because it's like 70 degrees out.
Yeah. I ran into that when I was out there. I took some training at Symantec at their headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was, so I got to spend some time out there.
Stop
I
them,
loved it. I fit in there. I've lived in Pennsylvania my whole life. And I have to say, I had more fun out in like the Silicon Valley area and hung out with more people there than I normally do in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, like it is a great area for like, people who feel like they don't fit in with like the normies, right? Like I can wear what is it called? A crop top to work. It's like no one judges. But they judge if you're conservative. That's the funny thing. But otherwise, like, they don't judge you. They're like totally like open to like, drugs and promiscuity and all that. Like that's completely accepted here. But if you're a conservative or like even like a libertarian, you are not that welcome.
See, as long as somebody's not cruel, I work with somebody, I would consider myself a centrist. There's things I'm conservative on and things that I'm very liberal on.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with a few people that are conservative. And, that's okay. I think we need people of differing views in the world. We really do, because it keeps one side from, it keeps from the ultra right from running amok and the ultra left from running amok. So I'm in favor of differing views. However, what will bother me is if somebody is championing championing. I can't say that word today.
I hate that word too. Championing, right?
Yeah, or by keeping a person down or a group of people down because of their religion or their color. That turns me off. It's an immediate, like, I recoil from people like that.
Well, here's the thing with me, like, if I don't know if you follow me on Twitter, but like my whole deal with like tolerance is, if your religion is, and like part of it is intolerant, then that does not deserve like respect or the same because we say like we have freedom of religion here, right? But if religion condones intolerance to others, that's not part of that religion that should be respected. I totally understand like where you're coming from with all that, but like there's like a lot of misconception that people have about, especially like Islamic religion, because it's like such a like protected group here, especially in San Francisco. People like never want to like offend you, and especially if like you come from like an Islamic background, or if you have like headscarf, which is why like I've been kind of using my Islamic card to show people like the intolerant parts, because if I know if like some random white guy was talking, like literally replace my quote, instead of my name, like replace it with some like white male's name, shit would hit the fan. So I find it almost like my duty to point out these things.
Yeah, I've met, and I'm going to be honest, I've met assholes that I was brought up Catholic, and I've met assholes and nice people in the Catholic religion. One of my close buddies in college was a Muslim gentleman who we were debating in class, and people thought we hated one another, but at the end of the class we were like, that was a great debate, and we ended up becoming very, very good friends, because we stuck to the issues and we didn't judge each other based on what our religious background was. And I have to say that he was probably one of the best people that I had the honor of like having a really good friend throughout my college years. And I really wish we had kept in touch, but he grew up and got married and all that good stuff. But I'll judge a person by their actions. Just because somebody's Islamic or they're, I will say that I tend to shy away from the evangelicals, only because it is part of their duty to try to to get you into their religion to save you. But for the most part, I kind of don't care what somebody. I don't think twice of anybody wearing a headscarf or. I don't know. It's just, if you're a nice person, I'll like you. If you're not, then I'm not gonna like you.
Everybody get a headset. All right, who's looping?
It happened just as like that one person joined the chat.
I just heard a zipper. What was that?
Huh?
I heard a zipper.
It's not that kind of chat room.
Oh, by the way, this is me in my face right now.
Oh my God, I can see your face.
All right, this is my face, and this is my goat sack.
Oh my gosh. Where's your skunk hat?
Gave me this goat sack. She made it for lockpicks, but it doesn't hold lockpicks very well. But it's probably a good like change purse.
Where is that from? I feel like, did you get that from like Mongolia or someplace?
No, it is from, she's near Bedford. She's between like Bedford and Bloomington, Indiana.
Okay.
She's a farm girl. Mary Margaret Conley is very much a farm girl. She has her own goats, her own chickens. I have milked.
Oh my God. See, my goal in life is to have a farm one day. And
me too.
Well, you definitely want to move the hell away from the Bay Area, though.
Yeah, I can't wait to move out of here and have my own farm, grow my own crops, just like Harvest Moon style, the video game. you know, have my have my pet, not pet, but like our pet dogs who like herd the sheep and all that stuff. Like my favorite thing to do in Afghanistan was like go and visit farms and like milk my own goats and cows and stuff.
That's so cool.
What are the major farm animals in Afghanistan? Is it mostly goats and cows, or is it something? What do they?
It's mostly sheep. There's this. Oh my God! There's this one sheep you have to you have to Google it. It's called the fat-tailed sheep. Oh my God! I'm gonna grab my phone. I want to show a picture real quick.
Right.
It has like a huge booty. Okay, and like it's the saddle part.
You show us goat ass.
Yeah.
Fucking serious.
So it has like the saddle part is just like so huge. You take that and you like put it in when you make kebabs. You take pieces of fat and you take the meat and you like do like half meat, half lamb fat or sheep fat, and it like cooks and like the oil from the lamb fat melts a little bit and gets all over the meat, and then it's like a little bit charcoaly. It's just so good.
I'd eat it, but I'm a fat ass, so yeah.
It tastes so good. Like, let me find a picture of one of these.
I'm ready for B-Sides Afghanistan right now because I just got back from B-Sides Nashville, and the what the hell is that?
Hot chicken.
Hot chicken is good, but the Martin's brisket was also
Oh,
good.
yeah.
Briskets. The only American food I really like is like the really fatty stuff, like briskets. What else is fat? Like
Everything in America is fattening.
Yeah.
McDonald's.
Anything with butter. Anything with butter is like way up my alley.
What about mutton?
Mutton.
Yeah.
Mutton.
Is it fatty?
Yeah, it's breakfast meat.
Oh, okay, yeah. Anything that's like fatty, I love it. Here's a picture, by the way. This is a picture of me with my one of my. Okay, I found it. I can put it up. So here's a picture of me first. Can you see the little sheep?
I can see the sheep. Wait, well, I could until I started speaking. I'm
Do you
gonna
see the butt?
Oh yeah.
Well, and I have another picture, but I want to show off my selfie first. But look at its butt. Look at it's like showing its butt.
Oh my God.
Its butt is so huge, but it tastes so good. Like, well, let me see if I can find a picture of that Afghan kebabs.
The ass on that sheep.
You ate his butt.
You got every farmer in
So
Louisville
good.
trying.
I'm looking for the goat that's named after me. Yes,
What?
I have a goat named after me. After me.
You got more than one, Adrian.
Oh, wait. No, wait. I think this is me and my son, or my goat son. Wait a second. I'm trying
So funny.
Now, how did you acquire the goat son?
Mary Margaret. All right, am I still sharing shit? Oh, wait, I'm not sharing, am I? Let me share my screen. All right, I am now sharing my entire screen. This is Goat Adrian. Look at that stack. That's a big stack.
Yeah, that one had a big stack too in this photo.
I think this is Goat Adrian's grandson. He's so cute.
Mm.
Look at his face. How can you not love? Wait, it's taking a long time to come up. How can you not love that?
Aw.
Like, come at me, bro.
So
Cute.
you
All right,
can't
guys.
name
There
them.
we go.
If you're gonna eat them, you can't name them.
That's true. I really hope the Conleys do not eat the Adrian. That'd be bad.
Bye, you guys. Enjoy the
Guys,
rest.
if you want to save skull, that's fine. Because Mary does save goat skulls and shit. But I don't. I hope they don't eat Adrian.
Now, do you eat goat?
I will, but I don't think I'll eat a goat that I've named.
Have you ever seen a man's goat?
I don't want. All right, let's kick him the fuck out of this cast. Anyway. Oh wait, we lost Janie.
Yes, she said she had to go.
Oh, we miss you, Janie. Bye-bye. Okay, let's go back to listening to more. And Sandra, you haven't said a damn thing. You have anything to say for yourself, Sandra?
She's a oh,
Well, she unmuted herself for a second.
I know, right? I was gonna say she's a
Yeah, muted herself. Sandra, hi. How you doing? Got anything to say? Damn it, you muted yourself again. All right, well, let's go back to watching more of this fucking cast. All right, more of Amanda Boleyn's great
Entering
talk.
a room where people are already seated, returning items to a store. So I don't know how many relationships I've ruined because of anxiety.
Can you
not
see the
just
video?
Romantic relationships, right?
No.
Can't see the video?
Stop screen sharing.
All right, let me All right, share my entire screen. Can you see the video now?
Yeah.
Like friendships or anything that's above just like a business or acquaintance in a relationship. I'll overinvest myself. I will overthink things. I'll push people away because like in my mind, I feel like they're already gone. I'm being too needy. I'm not attentive enough. My jokes are stupid. I'm too ugly. Like the list just goes on and on and on. And none of it, like I realize none of it's based in any fact, but it doesn't make any difference. It's still there. And that's a common theme for people with anxiety is overthinking and being around people. So next up is a super fun one. It's bipolar disorder, previously known as manic depression.
Now, bipolar, that means you like to have sex with both penguins and polar bears, right?
No, it's goats and chickens.
Goats and chickens. Okay, thanks for letting me know that.
That's no problem.
There's two sides of this one. First off is the manic part, where you're abnormally upbeat, jumpy, wired. You have an inflated sense of self-confidence or well-being. You have a lot of energy, a lot of increased activity, increased energy. And then the second part is the all the characteristics of your average depression. So depressed mood, marked loss of interest or feeling of no pleasure at all in things that you once gained pleasure out of. Hobbies, work, whatever, spending time with family. And another thing that bipolar people often have to deal with is poor decision making. So going on buying sprees, taking sexual risks, gambling, and anything that's super compulsive. They also have insomnia, loss of energy, and this could all happen within the period of the day. It could be longer periods where it's weeks at times, whatever. But it's definitely like a light switch, turns on and off at random.
And that actually defines the different types of bipolar disorder. So there's stages. There's bipolar type 1, 2, 3, and I think there might be a fourth. I'm not quite sure on that. But the time that it takes for the mood to change from the extreme up to the extreme down is how they classify those different categories of type 1, type 2 bipolar disorder.
Next is borderline personality disorder. This is a mental health disorder that impacts the way you think and feel about yourself and others. So you can have feelings of intense fear of abandonment. So for people, loved ones, whatever, family. You'll go to extreme measures to avoid the real separation or imagined separation. A pattern of unstable relationships will follow you. Because at one moment you'll idolize someone and think that they're the best thing in the world, and the next minute you'll think they're out to get you, or they're the worst person ever. You have rapid changes in self-identity and self-image that include shifting your goals and your values. So 1 minute you might love your job and know where you were going to go in a career, and the next minute you'll just say, "Heck with it, quit," and go change and do something else. Also very super compulsive. You have periods of stress-related paranoia, and you could lose contact with reality either for minutes or hours, where you don't, you have no idea afterwards what's happened. You sabotage your own success by quitting jobs, ending relationships. Suicidal threats is a common theme throughout all mental health issues. Ongoing feelings of emptiness, inappropriate or intense anger, and violent outbursts. Next is depression. It's one of the most talked about mental health issues out there. People will associate a lot of times with just being sad about one thing in particular, but it's way more than just that. The World Health Organization recently did a study that depression is the leading cause of physical illness in the world. So it happens a lot. It's not something to just, I joke about it all the time, but so some of the symptoms of that are feeling of sadness, emptiness or hopelessness, angry outbursts, irritability, or even over small matters, loss of interest in or pleasure in almost all normal activities, sex, hobbies, sports, work, sleep disturbances, and not just, a lot of times you think of people with depression as sleeping too much. Sometimes they suffer from insomnia as well. Tiredness or lack of energy. So days at a time spent in bed or on the couch, just not wanting to get up and move anywhere. Anxiety usually goes along with depression a lot. Slowed thinking, speaking or body movements, and feeling of worthlessness or guilt, fixating on past failures, and overthinking things and blaming yourself.
I'm getting depressed right now. How about you guys?
I'm okay. I got ice cream.
You got ice cream? What? What'd you say? You have ice cream?
Yeah, no problem.
That's
Not depressed.
For things that you're not responsible for. Have trouble thinking, concentrating, making decisions, frequent or recurrent thoughts of death, suicide, attempting suicide, and unexplained physical problems, backaches, headaches, whole body aches, whatever. Next is post-traumatic stress disorder. A lot of people associate this with being in active combat in the military, but this doesn't necessarily just have to be that. It's experiencing or witnessing any terrifying event that leaves a lasting impression. They get recurrent, unwanted, distressing memories that seem like they're wherever they were when that traumatic thing happened. They'll relive the traumatic events.
So what superpower could be absorbed from you?
Me?
Everybody must speak. If you join and you fucking silence yourself and not plan on speaking, fuck you. All right, so left to right on my screen, Cameron, what superpower could be absorbed from you?
He could troll Irongeek.
I've seen you troll other people more than me, but okay. Denise.
Oh, I'm sorry. What superpower do I have? So, and usually this is in person, not so much in on the internet. When things get really, really stressful, like I did DR and crisis management, when things get really tense, I can come out with some really funny one-liners and like break up the tension.
That's a good superpower to have. A little tension break is good. All right, Jack.
I'll say the most like outrageous thing that people just have to laugh. Like today, I think I offered to blow the whole Secret Service if they stop a nuclear war.
Well, thank you for your service to the nation. I'll move on to Jack now.
I'm a patriot.
Jack, are you as big a patriot as Dennis is?
No, it will be absolute anger at a drop of the hat.
You're not gonna blow the Secret Service?
Me? Hell no.
All right.
I was being facetious. Let me just put that out there. I was being facetious.
I was just saying, let's put it out there. All right, Jack. What is your thing? What superpower do you have?
Absolute anger. Like I have this innate ability to just go absolutely nuclear.
No, stop
at the drop of a hat.
That can be useful from time to time. John, how about you?
I have the wonderful ability to attract any woman with narcissistic personality disorder.
I'm already turned
That
on.
doesn't sound like a good ability. That sounds like an ability just to cause yourself pain.
Yeah, right.
All right, Sandra. How about you, Sandra? Sandra continues to say nothing, be it a he or a she.
It said technical difficulty a while ago at 7:31 p.m.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, Sandra. Hopefully you will be able to join a cast at some point in time. We normally do these on Wednesday at 7 o'clock, but as this is an impromptu one, let's continue with Amanda's talk. And Kirby.
Setting dreams are nightmares. You wouldn't imagine how many funny images there are out there about depression. On 4chan, those ones I couldn't put up here. Severe emotional.
By the way, I would have to use the restroom, and Corey's kind of a wallflower. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the restroom. I'm going to put him in charge of pausing and unpausing this and making commentary. So if you have something to say, start saying it. It's Corey's job to pause the shit. He still has this fucking pig thing on his head. Don't ask. You don't want to know. But we will continue Amanda's talk. But if you want to speak, just start speaking, and it's Corey's job to stop the progression of the video. Understand?
While Adrian is draining the main vein, we shall fill this chat with actual conversity.
Hopefully, if Corey does his job right. I'm going to start recording. I'm going to start playing. Corey's in charge.
Or physical reactions to something that happened to you or that you witnessed during the traumatic event. And I think this is the last one.
I feel like he has no faith in me whatsoever.
Very little, but...
All right.
As OCD.
I want to know, like, why did I still hear Adrian? Is he peeing right behind you, Corey?
Oh, no. I was actually behind him.
Oh.
It's,
even more awkward.
It's a different story. Continue.
Are you the aimer?
No, I'm just rubbing his shoulders.
Oh, wow.
He prefers that. He said it relaxes him.
I'm hella jelly. You got masseuse title.
Yeah, no. Okay.
That was really interesting. So it's obsessive compulsive disorder. It's a pattern of unreasonable thoughts and of fears, which are the obsessions, that lead you to do repetitive behaviors, which are the compulsions. A lot of people say they have OCD because, you know, they like their towels folded a certain way, or, you know, they like to wash their hands after they go to the bathroom. That's not OCD. OCD is way more serious than that. I read Nikola Tesla actually had really bad OCD. He obsessed over the number 3. Anytime that he wanted to go into a building, he would have a compulsion, and he would do it a lot of times to circle the block 3 times before he could go into the building. He had an intense fear of circular objects, specifically women's jewelry. He would never eat alone with women because of this. So
Nikola Tesla, Mike Pence, they got something in common.
It's very limiting when you have OCD. There are a couple other serious cases of. I read one of this lady. It was like a long time ago in France when they first started researching all of this stuff. She had this intense fear that she was going to cheat on her husband. She was newly married. Cheat on her husband with everybody that she met. And this fear was so bad that you could walk up to her and tell her, "You slept with me," or "You slept with him," and she would instantly believe you. And she went so far as to, you know, use physical means to make sure that it was only her husband that was being intimate with her. But it's that kind of stuff that can really, really mess with your life. A lot of times it's fear of contamination or dirt. There was several cases where there are people that fear that they've been contaminated so much that they will repeatedly wash themselves. They will not touch people. And I don't mean 1 or 2 times, like 2, 3, 400 times a day.
Now, I used to wash my hands a lot more. I don't think I'm as bad as like the constantly worrying about I'm dirty. But some people looked at me kind of weird because I'd wash my hands before and after going to the bathroom.
Well, like when they say OCD, dude, I can't remember which game show host it was. There used to be one, and I think it's a guy.
Mark Summers.
Yeah, and it got so bad that like dude was straightening the fringe on his fucking rugs, man. Like that's
my thing is, I look at the people who walk into the bathroom, walk out of the bathroom. I look at their hands and look at the people, and I'm like, would I want them secondhand touching my penis? And in general, the answer is no. So I wash my hands before and after going to the bathroom. Does that make me weird?
No.
No, I do that.
Yeah, that's one of the things like all right, I do think all right, since Sandra is not replying to anything, I'll ask Denise this question because I want a woman's opinion.
I'm here, and I'm a guy, by the way.
Oh, it is a guy. Okay, I wasn't sure. Welcome, Sandra.
That's okay.
It's all good. Hey, Adrian is an ambiguous name also. So I feel for you. Luckily, you did not have a fucking movie come out in fucking 76 that made your name constantly wing out, "Yo, Adrian," in middle school all the fucking time.
You could be
I'm not bitter or anything. And she was a girl.
Chick named Cameron.
But hi, Sandra. Anyway, we'll get to Denise's opinion on this. And I don't even know what my opinion was on this. In general, would you agree that women are probably more fastidious about cleanliness than men are?
Generally speaking, yes, but I have to say I've known a few dirtballs that were women.
Yeah, there are a few. It is a generality. But yeah, I have this thing. I don't like to touch doorknobs or faucet sinks. I like paper towels.
Me too.
This is one of my psychological issues. I like motion activated, that's fine. But I do not like to touch anything that I think someone else who has touched their penis or vagina has touched without, some kind of intermediary. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Seems reasonable.
Oh, what if you learned that their hands are dirtier than their cock?
That's probably not true for everyone.
Well, Cameron's hands are probably dirtier than his cock. The rest of us, I don't know.
Well, your hands come into a lot more contact with germs throughout the course of a day than your wiener. I promise.
That probably is true.
They also come in contact with your cock, so they're like cock plus plus.
So we should open doors with our wieners then.
If you have the talent to do so, yes, sir.
If my wiener was prehensile, I would do that shit.
I got a thumb on mine. What are you talking about?
If my wiener was prehensile, you see me swing around DEF CON from the rafters with my penis.
So in other words, you'd be twirling around like a lasso.
Something like that, yes.
A grappling hook.
Anyway, I just want to know that my general thoughts on sanitary conditions aren't that insane.
No, I don't think so.
I don't like touching things that other people have touched that have touched you with Denise. I'm just like, actually, Denise, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Dennis or Denise?
Denise.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like touching things that I know other people have touched after touching their own junk. It's one of my things.
No, I hear you. I'm funny like that too.
All right, we'll continue with Amanda's video. I wish Amanda could join us, but I didn't arrange this that much, and she may watch this later and go, "What the fuck are these people doing?" Hey, but Amanda, hey, at least we like your talk.
Yeah.
There's a couple of Irongeek Cast show that we totally fucked with.
So how did that she take it?
They never responded to me. I haven't heard shit from them. But Amanda we like. Amanda's our buddy. I once slept with her in West Virginia, and I consider her like my sister. It was head to head. There was no other things. It was just like she was this way on the couch, I was this way on the couch, and we made rude comments to each other all night, and went to sleep.
Whose feet smelled worse, hers or yours?
What was what?
Whose feet smelled worse, yours or hers?
Our feet were pretty much as far away from each other as they could be, assuming we went 180 degrees. We were about 90 degrees from each other.
Okay.
No head to toe?
No, it was head to head. She was stretched this way on Gardner's couch. I was stretched this way on Gardner's couch, and it was all good. See, I don't think you understand how cheap I do this shit. I do hacker cons because I enjoy them, and people like the video I do. Not everybody. Some people are wanting manginas or femdicks. I will define mangina and femdick to you for later if you really want. But I show up cons and try to make it as cheap for the conference to get my ass there to record it as possible. So one year, we were crashing in the Gardner's house. There is Bill Gardner and his wife, who's also maiden name is Gardner, but it was Gardner before they married, but they are not related. But they're in West Virginia, so the jokes ensue. Never mind. Let's just continue.
You believed them when they said they weren't related?
I'm pretty sure they're not related. Wait, I just locked my own screen. I need to get this shit undone.
He just locked his own shit.
I need to find where's my Firefox?
Not sure.
They'll wash their hands or.
I love you, Blair. Give Bill a handy for me.
Their body or enough that it's going to harm themselves. You could have aggressive or horrific thoughts about harming yourselves or others that go completely against what you would normally ever do in life, right? Thoughts that would never, ever cross your mind of ever doing always run through their heads. It's not fun when you're trying to go through your everyday. So a lot of these tie together and go on top of each other.
She's cute. I'm sorry, I'm just lonely. She's kind of cute, and I really like vodka, and she likes vodka. So I think we can like vodka together. Is that so wrong?
I can get you a blonde that'll drink vodka with you all night long.
Yeah, I can.
Will drink vodka with me all night long?
I can get you a blonde too. She's a freak.
Damn. See, this goes back to my. All right, I am politically, I'm strange. I am almost an atheist at this point, but I like traditionalism. But I like women who will play with my penis. So.
I'll send you a few photos in the DMs, and you can be the judge of it. I don't want her no more. She's crazy as fuck.
Okay, so she's okay with the big mountain man, white boy beard shit.
Yeah.
All right, DM me, motherfucker.
The only thing is you might have to go to church with her Sunday morning, Sunday evening, Wednesday evenings. But any other time, she's pretty much up for whatever.
Damn it! All right. Wait. I'm drunk right now. Send it to me, and we will see.
Okay.
I love you, Jack.
What do you want? Do you want one with clothes or without?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, now we all want to know what she looks like.
I don't. I don't want to know what she looks like. That's Adrian's home run. I'm not trying to catch his fly ball.
Yeah, just curious now.
I want a woman who's beautiful in body, intellect, and soul. And who wants to
Well, she's
If you want one that's beautiful, she's batshit crazy. Period.
well, she's dumb as fuck. So
damn.
Unfortunately, that's true.
That's awful, dude. We're all going to hell. Congratulations.
I just want a woman that's not going to yell at me for things I didn't do.
Where the hell?
My friends are gonna be there too.
Fuck this. We're gonna totally fuck the whole monetization thing. We're gonna look up Highway to Hell.
Break.
That's an awesome song.
It is.
Highway to hell.
And I love AC/DC. AC/DC is one of my favorite bands of all time. But if I play this, well, fuck the copyright. Let's play this shit.
We're gonna piss YouTube off.
Come on, boy! Let's rock out!
Oi!
Oi! Oi! Oi! Oi! Easy living! Easy free! Alright, my buddy Corey having Gladys in front of me.
In everything in my stride.
He has 2 kids on the way, both male boys, from a woman who is an espoused feminist, and
she is semi-hot and extremely crazy.
But Corey fucked himself over. He may kill me with his sword by the time it's time. Corey, I love you, man, but you did some dumb shit.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Well, hey, I still love my penis even after everything else.
Okay. Don't need run! Party time! My friends are gonna be there too. I'm on a highway to hell. On a highway to hell. Highway to hell. I'm on a highway to hell. No stop sign. Speed limit. Gonna show us down a one-way stand. No willing wheel. Gonna spin it. Nobody messing me around. Hey, Satan. Hey, my Jews. What? Wait, I can't even say this shit right. See, I can't say some of this shit even right without saying like, "Hey, man,
Nobody
Jews."
knows what he's saying. It's okay.
Does anybody know what else someone's saying?
Perhaps. But not.
Someone else save me from some like weird, strange, like what is that fucking far to the left? Fuck. That is Raw Story. Some Raw Story is gonna post some weird shit about me being a far right.
You're gonna be on Raw Story? Is that true?
Possibly.
Oh, dude. If you're on Raw Story and they're talking shit about you, it just means you're cool as fuck. That's pretty much how that works.
Perhaps so.
Because they, there are a lot of
Wait, we really gotta finish Amanda's talk. We're only 3/3. Wait, 3/3. What the fuck am I? I'm too drunk. Denise, can you take over my laptop? Can you like do some exploit to my laptop and take over? Because I'm too drunk to take this over. All right, let's continue. Let's at least get through Amanda's talk before I totally talk shit.
Yeah, because if you give me control of that, I'm stealing all your shit.
So we can all agree that having one or more of these would royally suck. So now what? If you have one of these, or someone you love has one of these, or care about in your family or whatever, friends,
try your best to put up
what can you do to cope?
You saw the
Or how
one
do you
that's
help
up
them?
over there, it's Damascus, right?
I use that.
Well, the Viking sword over there is Damascus.
That one?
Yeah, there you
That
go.
one right there? I think, like,
Many of you might have seen an impromptu survey that I had put out a while back. Asked about 20 different questions about your perception of mental health, how it affects you in your life, that kind of stuff. And almost 900 people answered it. And while I know I'm a big statistics nerd and I know how difficult it is to get a good sample of people answering survey questions, I still wanted to put it out there just to see what I could come up with. This was one of the questions that I thought the responses were interesting on. Several people pointed out the fact that I kind of messed up the question format because I had asked, do you participate in any activities to reduce, dull, or improve the stress or feelings you're having, such as alcohol, prescription drugs, other drugs, exercise?
I would have to imagine that the major self-prescribed drug in the community is alcohol. Is there any disagreement on that?
No.
I appreciate it. Pot, close second.
Pot is a close second. So says Corey, who works at. Never mind.
I work at a place called Hypermax.
That is meditation or other. I had put it out there as a multiple choice question when it should have been a multiple answer question because when you cope, you might do more than one of these things. And that was definitely the case. A lot of people put in the other category all of the above. And that is kind of represented here, which is definitely more than the total amount here. I think my favorite out of the other category were pretend to be a Vulcan, masturbation, cats, and Twitter. Or cats and Twitter. Guys on Twitter, yeah. So there's a lot of different coping mechanisms that you can deal with. And I think 90% of the people that answered the survey were in InfoSec or some related branch of IT. And you can see that Savannah IQ hypothesis is working here. There's a lot of people using drugs and alcohol to cope.
I have meeting that.
I was talking to a friend of mine after I had sent out the survey. He's in the InfoSec, but he also works in the mental health field. So I sent him my slides and everything that I wanted to talk about to kind of give him an idea of where I wanted to go and see if he could give me any good feedback. One of the things he let me know is that there are 2 things that you can do to majorly improve your brain. Anybody? Exercise is one of them. Keep going. Sex. But only if you're doing it right. Then it's exercise, right? Get 2 for 1. But as a medical mental health professional, he said that's what he tells his patients. So I use my mom as a sounding board for a lot of the research that I do, a lot of the things that I talk about. She's not very technical, but she likes to listen to, what I'm talking about and give me feedback from her point of view. One of the things that she told me is when we started talking about different coping mechanisms is that her great-grandma through menopause was suffering from sad and tired and withdrawn behavior. And at the time, they committed her and started giving her shock treatments. Because what's better than taking you out of clinical depression than shocking the hell out of you? I also went to a field trip with my 3rd grader. We go on a lot of field trips. Yeah, it was the 3rd grader. To a local county historical museum. And there they had I don't want to call it an insane asylum, but it was basically this huge halfway house that, if you didn't have money to go to a nursing home, or you didn't have parents, or you were really sick or poor, everybody would just go here. It was a huge farm and you would work on it. a lot of times they had mentally insane people there, and they would send them to like this building that was just locked down and overlooked this nice hog pen. And that's how they dealt with it, right? There was no other ways that they let them cope. There was a sign in the building. It was a quote from one of the people that used to work there. It was like, I don't know.
Who's this plebe running the fucking video show here?
Oh, what?
Something about they let the crazies out to play today, and it made a marked improvement on their general well-being, and just the way that they talked about it was really super interesting.
Okay, Cameron, do you have something to say about the crazy that's been exhibited so far?
I was just wondering. No, not really. I don't have any
Why
questions.
the fuck are you fucking me then?
Because I can.
Ah, fucker.
Why do you fuck with me?
So now we have way better ways of coping, right? People talk about safe spaces when they make fun of millennials, but we don't need
my safe space.
Yeah, you're safe in your space. You want me to come snuggle with you tonight, Adrian?
Not really. Not
well,
you.
You know, you got Corey over there, and he was bragging about giving you the back rub.
Who was? Oh, what?
Yeah, and I got all super hella jelly over there. I'm like,
Who was
man,
talking about giving me the back rub?
Corey gets to rub his man hands all through that back.
I don't think so. No. Sorry.
And I don't get to play with any of that.
Hey, he backed me into a corner.
La 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 la. I can't hear you. La la la.
This is why I hate white people. This is why I am racist towards white people.
What devil? What devil?
Oh gosh.
What devil?
My ribs are hurting.
What devil?
But it's
of all people on this cast, Corey
what?
And Cameron and all y'all. No. Other people maybe, but no, not you two. No.
Did I take over again?
I'm trying to get the cast going again, but
you need another
nice
massage.
To go somewhere that you
can
talk to somebody openly about what you're experiencing or what you're doing day to day, and not have them judge you back, right? Or spread rumors or whatever. It can feel really good to externalize your feelings. A lot of the coping that I did without knowing it was coping when I was younger was right. I would either write this in my mind, or I would write stories, or I would just write anything, and it was really therapeutic, and it would help me cope without even knowing that's what I was doing. So back then you couldn't really talk about mental health issues. It was really taboo. Just like you couldn't talk about mental health, divorce, teen pregnancy. I've had all three. And it's not as taboo to talk about anymore. You can ask for help through psychologists, therapists, whatever. And something else that I wanted to point out is if you do happen to be interested or want to talk to a therapist or whatever, find one that works for you. I've talked to a lot of different people throughout this whole thing that will find a therapist that they don't like talking to, they don't really click with. I've had some that find others that are like 3 states away that will do video conferences, which is great, especially for us that might not like to go out of the house. So getting back to getting all doped up. The last 20 years, we've seen a 400% increase in the use of antidepressants. And it's an estimated 1 in 10 adults now taking them. So I don't want to, you don't ever want to devalue anybody's suffering, but you also don't want to throw medication at something where you might be able to use one of those other coping mechanisms to deal with anything that's happening in your life. So a good amount of the things that we talked about will increase your dopamine levels by participating in the activity just naturally, not without taking any medication. So when I was prescribed a medication for the first time I talked to my doctor, I was given Zoloft. And this is kind of the explanation that he had given me, that it's a simple chemical imbalance in my brain that we could interact and correct with this simple chemical. You just take a pill every day, which in my mind made complete sense. You know, it's just something chemical that they're interacting with another chemical, and everything would be fine after I took it. So I found out throughout my research that that's not necessarily 100% true. A lot of times, the doctors really have no idea why some of these medications work. And I understand science is hard. Studies also pointed out
Science is
that
hard,
issues
motherfucker.
arise not only from the chemical imbalances in the brain,
It's just like some
but
stuff.
genetic
Some numbers,
disposition.
numbers stuff.
Hey, folks, is science hard?
Is science hard?
When it comes to the human brain, yes.
I heard somebody make a really good analogy with these psychotropic drugs. They said it's like pouring oil on the engine. You know, where some of it gets in, it's not a perfect science because our brains are so complex.
Yeah, I know. People have tried various chemicals with me, and the results have not been ecstatic.
So I had a really bad experience, and that's one of the reasons why I've shied so far away is because of all of the bad experiences. And I've had bad experiences for my entire life, and I'm just fucking tired of it, right? You get tired as if, you know, someone who's just crying for help, you get tired. You get tired of fucking crying. You get tired, and, you know, you take these drugs that they give you and they fuck you up even worse than what you were before. You know, you're messing with dopamine levels and serotonin levels in somebody's brain, and that's enough to make somebody kill themselves. You know, you go hauling off, throwing the wrong uptake inhibitor at them, and if the person's depression level is really legit, they could turn right around and, you know, very well kill themselves. And what do we write that off to? Is that just a statistic? I hope that our society isn't so devalued to where that is the case, but I'm afraid that it is.
Damn. I have nothing to say to that that's not also even more depressive.
SSRIs are selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That's common to Zoloft. It's common to antidepressants in general. For me, my serotonin reuptake inhibitors are like kind of bonk, and so are my dopamine levels, and that's typical to someone who suffers from bipolar, right? Because of the chemical imbalance, this is why you do the whole roller coaster ride from extreme up to extreme down, and that whole thing that we talked about earlier. Mitigating that to where, because you're never going to get something that's perfect, right? But you just want something that's like a really slow, even keel kind of wave instead of something that's sporadic. What happened with me was they finally put me on, what was it? This was years back. They put me on like 1,200 milligrams of Seroquel. That's enough to like knock out a pachyderm. And yeah, it worked. But every single day was like Groundhog Day. I would wake up and feel the exact emotion throughout the entire day. And finally, after about, I think I did 3 years of treatment on that, I got involuntary muscle movement and spasms because of that drug. And I also, I just got tired. I got fed up of every day being the fucking same. And I figured it's better to just fight it and feel something than to wake up and feel the exact same fucking emptiness that is there day in and day out, which is just, it was like gray. Every day was gray, just gray. And I'm like, fuck this. I want to see some sunshine. I don't care if I have to cry on Thursdays. If I have to cry on Thursdays, fuck it, I gotta cry on a Thursday. But I want to know what it sounds like to hear bluebirds sing. I want to fucking feel sunshine. I want to, you know, like, I want to be a human again. And those drugs are fucking nasty.
I want to feel the rain.
You could have, physical issues causing it. You could have
Such your white ass.
other medicine that you're taking causing it, like as a side effect. I found an American Psychological Association article that kind of talks about this. They said, we do not dispute the possibility that neurotransmitters and other brain chemicals play a significant role on the etiology of depression.
Go get some.
However, we're also concerned that the chemical imbalance explanation may not reflect the full range of causes of depression, may be given greater credence by both consumers.
Who's the crazy chick in the picture?
It's called Mac Lockbrook. MacBook Lockbook. Oh, that woman? I don't know.
Yeah, I wasn't sure who the hell she is.
Jenner woman. That Kardashian woman. I don't know her first name.
And or may be understood in an overly simplistic manner. But really, what kind of medical knowledge, unless you're in the medical field, do we get that isn't in an overly simplistic manner? I really think it's a way for the doctors to explain it without saying we don't know. Because you don't ever want to hear that.
Kill all the golfers. That's good shit. It's basically all the problem with me. Who just wanted to piss?
That sounded more like somebody pouring water out of a cup, actually.
Sounded like pissing to me.
No, not pissing.
You just got coffee, Dick. Thanks.
I started taking Zoloft about 6 months before the end of my divorce. And
Like pee on cam?
my marriage, sorry. The divorce took way longer. And it was great. I wasn't sad anymore. I had a whole lot of energy. And it kind of also made me a zombie. Now, medication works differently for everybody just because of the different chemicals and the different genetics that you have and everything going on in your life. Everything works with somebody a different way. So one, Zoloft didn't work for me. It might for somebody else, that kind of thing. But it made it, I stayed on it for a couple of years. It made it really easy to propel myself through all of that, the really stressful and tough times of my life. All in 6 months, I got divorced, a new job, and I moved with 3 kids. So not having emotions was great. If any of you have ever watched The Magicians, there's an episode that they use a spell to take all the emotions out so they can make sounder decisions. Pretty much what it was like. So after those major stresses in my life had died down, I realized that it might be better if I started feeling some emotion again. So I talked to my doctor again, and I also, through a bit of self-reflection, realized that I might have been going down the same path, just in a differently medicated way, and I was filling my, that hole in my life with way unhealthier things. So I went back to the doctor and talked to him, and now I'm on Wellbutrin with the occasional Xanax when I start freaking out. I'm not saying everybody should be medicated, but I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people that cope in way unhealthier ways. So medication is definitely an option. So now that we've covered a bunch of my personal baggage, we can talk about how we help others and how we treat others that might be in our lives that struggle with this kind of stuff. I try and talk about this stuff as openly as possible because I don't care. Like I don't mind talking with it and helping anybody that I can. And when I have an anxiety attack now, I can verbalize it more than I used to be able to. The 2 most common things that I've heard, common negative things that I've heard, is one is you're overacting. And I'm not the only one that happens to, for sure. A lot of people I've talked to get this, or they'll get the response that it's their fault. I get this a lot. And truly, I have so much going for me. I'm a published author. I have, wonderful family. I'm gainfully employed. I'm fairly healthy. Like, what right do I have to be depressed ever?
None!
You know what? Hearing that, like, I've caught myself
love you,
saying that to
Amanda.
other people too. You know, if they open up to me about how they're feeling, I'll say, but we love you. You're great.
None of us has spoken in a while. Does anybody have anything to say?
No, I'm just listening.
Xanax is awesome.
Yes,
What
it
is awesome?
Xanax, he said.
I need some of that. All right.
I take Klonopin.
It's not bad to hear. It doesn't necessarily help.
The difference being they're both benzodiazepines.
Again, maybe try
Same
thinking.
as an Ativan. But clonazepam stays in your system for a lot longer and acts for a lot longer than like a Xanax does. So a Xanax is for a more acute panic attack, and what I take is more of a preventative 24-hour. But
I'm not sure what I need.
these things will fuck you up, dude. Like, they're bad. And if you drink on this crap, like if you take Xanax or Klonopin or Ativan or any of that shit, dude, you can't drink. You can't. You'll black out. And we'll find Adrian underneath some hobo's can.
Hey, what's going on, fellas?
What's up, buddy?
Yeah, nothing much. How's everything?
We're chilling. How you doing, bud?
Feeling great in my Tony the Tiger voice.
Hey, Charles. What's up?
Hey, how's it going, man?
It's okay. The cast is getting close to the end, I hope. But welcome to join.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
We're going to play a little bit more on Amanda's talk. We're just basically talking about psychological issues and InfoSec. And I've always self-medicated myself to the point of oblivion.
I think we all, you know something, man? I think we all have to a certain extent, whether we realize it or not. Most people medicate themselves through alcohol. Some medicate themselves through just suppression of thoughts. And, you know, like some people bury themselves into code or even extra work. As far as like, you know, especially depending on what they do in the InfoSec field. If they're into forensics, you know, some of the things they see on a daily basis might drive them to not an insane place. I don't want to use the word insane, but
a dark place.
It just makes them, it's just a lot of pressure, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad I don't do forensics because forensics is, well, there's a little bit too much CP in forensics for my taste.
I'm actually doing a graduate course in computer forensics, and
okay,
I get neighbors that'll ask me to work on their computers, and I'm like, no, because honestly, I don't want to know that much about them.
And I don't blame you, like, because it's just a lot of it, you know. Again, it's like self-medication, you know, and a lot of stuff you just don't want to know, you don't want to see.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, I have the exact opposite effect. I mean, even though my specialty is supposed to be in computer forensics, but and I have been given offers from lawyers to handle certain cases that involve CP. I told them no matter how much money you spend at me, I'm not touching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but we do. If you think about it, you do need people like us, forensics people, to catch these people and put them away, because obviously they're a danger to society. But you definitely have to be a strong mind to be able to do that.
Yeah. No, because I'm the type of person that if I see something and then I have to go to court and testify about it, odds are I'm jumping over that witness stand and giving the dude the old 1-2. Or if I find something and it gets the person off, then I would feel guilty about it. So
yeah, that's another.
That's a good nose smoke right there.
It is.
All right, let's continue on with Amanda's talk.
You can't just will yourself to be better if you have a chemical imbalance. It can be really easy to put the happy face on.
I'm a very unhappy individual. I'll just put that out there. Let's continue to talk.
I think that you need more baby oil in your life.
Maybe.
the outside, that's not changing anything on the inside. A good majority of mental health issues come with those physical symptoms. And if we treated them like physical symptoms, I think we'd get a lot further in life. A lot of times we can't even see that kind of stuff ourselves. We need some, a good support system. So let's cover the do-says. First, sometimes you just have to listen. It's really no more than that. Listening and good.
All right, some of these don't-says are probably accurate. Some of these do-says are probably also accurate. Sorry, there are some motherfuckers who are just fucking dramatic.
A lot of emos.
What was that, homie?
A lot of emos, man. Like, I don't know what's up with all the emos. And I feel like they're overly feely, like...
Corey, are you an emo? No. Corey doesn't think he's an emo. I think Corey may be an emo, but I'm not sure.
I can't judge that. Like, I'm just labeling, and I shouldn't do that, but you know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, there are people who are overly emotional.
Yeah, and they draw up all these emotions, and it's like, okay, are they legit? Like, I guess every emotion is legitimate to a certain level, but then one has to question, well, what made you feel that way? Like, was it truly my action, or are you just trying to play the guilt card, or like manipulate me, or what are you trying to gain, or what are you not trying to gain? What behaviors are you trying to see or not see? Like, it's kind of confusing to me at times.
I don't have a good answer. Wait, I just accidentally played the next video, didn't I?
Yep.
Shit.
All right, please go. Okay. Her oldest son committed suicide.
Wait, how the fuck did I go back? Fuck.
Yesterday, and so I'm like, not to be a downer, but it's an important topic to talk about depression and mental illness and all the different variables.
Let's get this back up.
And then or whatever. But a lot of times in the symptoms, they talk about how it's an intense fear, or it's something that you're always thinking about and obsessing over.
Okay, you're like 20 minutes ahead of this part.
These are any of the ones I'm going to talk about, and you haven't gotten help, I'll also cover ways to do that.
Yeah.
You might avoid normal social situations, like using a public restroom, interacting with strangers, eating in front of others. I knew several people that
that'll be about here, right?
Balances in the brain.
We're a little bit past there.
Disposition.
A little past?
Yep.
What kind of medical knowledge, unless you're in the medical field, do we get that isn't in an overly simplistic manner?
Am I right?
I really think it's a way for doctors to...
Close enough, motherfuckers.
...to explain it without...
It wasn't on that slide.
You don't ever want to hear that when you go into the doctor.
There you go.
I started taking Zoloft about 6 months before the end of my divorce. And
for a little bit.
Sorry, tough times in my life, all emotion again. So we can talk about how we help others and how we treat others that might be in our lives that struggle with this kind of stuff.
I love it, man. Like,
I try and talk about this stuff as openly as possible because I don't care. Like, I don't mind talking with it and helping anybody that I can.
What's up, Cracker?
And when I have an anxiety attack now, I can verbalize it more than I used to be able to.
Talking shit to my girlfriend.
The two most common things that I've heard.
Your actual girlfriend or your baby mama?
One is you're overacting.
What?
I'm not the only one that happens to for sure. A lot of people I've talked to get this, or they'll get the response that it's their fault.
I am both jealous and glad I'm not in your situation at the same time.
And truly, I have so much going for me. I'm a published author. I have, wonderful family. I'm gainfully employed. I'm fairly healthy.
So-
Like, what right do I have to be depressed ever? But you know what? Hearing that, like, I've caught myself saying that to other people too. You know, if they open up to me about how they're feeling, I'll say, but we love you. You're great. Everybody loves you. Well, it's not bad to hear. It doesn't necessarily help. Or two, maybe try thinking happier thoughts. I only wish that was possible.
Don't scroll up too far.
You can't just will yourself to be better if you have a chemical imbalance.
booty pictures
It'd be really
going?
easy to put the happy
No,
face on
no,
on the
no.
outside, but that's
show you
not
that one if
changing
you want.
anything on the inside. A good majority of mental health issues come with those physical symptoms, and if we treated them like physical symptoms, I think we'd get a lot further in life. A lot of times we can't even see that kind of stuff ourselves. We need a good support system. So let's cover the do-says. First, sometimes you just have to listen. It's really no more than that. Listening and good communication. Having signals, right? So I have a subset of people that I can talk to, or give them a signal if I'm struggling, right? It's like you can use a safe word for your mental health. I'll use it.
Do any of you all have a safe word for me?
Adrian,
Yes.
that's my safe word.
Adrian's a safe word.
Yeah.
I think you need to look on that.
Mine is Scooby Dooby Doo.
Dude, you're high.
Okay.
Safe words are for wimps.
All right. Does Jack or Denise have anything to say? Denise or Jack, anything to say?
I don't have a safe word.
Wow.
Funny thing is,
That's messed up. That's messed up. I am not disclosing my safe word.
It was a Scooby laugh.
Right.
now I lost my freaking video.
I'm so sorry.
I usually just make people feel awkward, and then they quit
I
speaking.
don't know what to do to help me.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Mine happen a lot at conferences, but towards the end, so it's not now. Don't worry.
I'm so sleepy.
I personally think it's a
Oh my
combination of traveling. I work at
God, it's
home
sort
alone all day long, every
of-
day.
Nothing
I have really no
I'm
energy.
looking for.
And then you're thrown into a 3-day conference with, a couple hundred thousand, whatever people. And that's a huge shock, right, to the brain. And mixed with lack of sleep, because, you party all night, sleep a couple hours, and then repeat. Bad diet. A lot of times before, I would forget to take my medicine and forget to take my vitamins and not exercise when I travel. And I don't make that mistake anymore. I sometimes skip the exercising and, trade that off for a little bit more sleep. But I no longer forget to take my vitamins, my medication, because that just makes it happen so much quicker. Secondly, another thing you have to understand is that interacting with others is difficult, and they might just not feel like going out. The thought of crowds, enclosed spaces, dirty restrooms, loud noise, whatever the case may be.
Depends on the type of crowd I'm with.
Yeah. Like, what do you mean depends on the crowd you're with? Like,
If I have a lot of people that have similar interests to me, I'm pretty cool with hanging out with a bunch of people. But I gotta admit, the last 2 cons I've been at, I've been like, all right, I'm gonna get back to my hotel room, do the video, and get drunk and pass out.
and get ready to go to the next one.
Yeah, sadly, for better or worse, it's not a great scenario, but yeah.
So, Adrian, would you go bar hopping with me? Do you think that I could
I have to hop, and how soon do I get to bed and go to sleep?
Well, if you want out, I'm telling, we'll go out and just tear up the town one night. Let me take you out one night.
What, burn up Cincinnati?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Tear it up, Sonny.
Okay, when you go to DerbyCon, do you bar hop, or what do you?
No,
you know?
because what DerbyCon is all in the hotel I'm staying at. I have a big hotel suite.
Right.
Come to my room. We party in my room.
Okay.
And then
go ahead.
They pass out in my room. I go into my bedroom in my room by myself, sadly. But
That's where he keeps all the Sharpies, and then he comes out and draws on everybody.
Oh.
But no, I don't do much ball hopping at cons.
Well, looks like I'm gonna get some hair at Derby.
And besides, it's Louisville. I mean, there's
You gotta get a troll bar.
They're struggling.
Troll bar is fun.
Go ahead.
The troll bar, troll pub, whatever the hell it's called.
the troll under the bridge.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a cool little pub. That's
Yeah.
more daytime. Get some food, get some beer pub.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I mean,
because like the first is crazy because not crazy, but the first DerbyCon I went to, right? Like I went by myself. A lot of my friends canceled. So I went at it alone, and then I met you guys. Like it's just
You're always welcome at MeadCon. Just come find me and I'll tell you what day MeadCon is. It's usually Friday or Saturday, but we drink mead, hang out in my room, and do jack all. So hopefully, I don't know if we have karaoke because ladies brought karaoke to me. I pissed off this year.
oh well, later for her, but you know, yeah,
I said bad things about like a women's march or something, and now she's all pissed at me.
whatever. She should be okay. Listen, I'm sorry. Like I'm like this. It's not. It was your opinion. This is the thing that bothers me, and this attributes sometimes to my insane, I guess, mental situation sometimes too. It just bothers me that like sometimes I'll feel like I don't fit in this new world of doing things. Like I come from
everywhere.
I mean, seriously, man. Like it's like you say one thing of your opinion and it's a problem. And it's just like that was your opinion, how you felt.
Right.
So it shouldn't have been no issue. Everybody else, you know, I guarantee you, if I don't know who the individual was, but if she said something that was her opinion, she wouldn't expect nobody else to get mad at what she's saying. She just wants somebody to hear what she's saying, not get upset. So I just think it's a double standard when you say something, you say your opinion, or somebody else says their opinion. What if they don't agree with you is the issue? Like whatever, and then doing all that crazy stuff on the net, like whatever. Like sometimes I don't know, man. Sometimes like I think I love what the internet has become, but then sometimes I don't like what it's become. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The internet's a wonderful place from the standpoint of you can always find anybody to agree with your particular worldview, and you can also always find anybody to disagree with your worldview.
Right. But I just like this. Like we're all
giving a platform for people to make anonymous threats to others. It's also giving people a platform to make, you know, cause political outrage in underdeveloped countries. You can do all sorts of just nutty shit because of the amount of touch that it has now versus what it did in the 90s.
Yeah,
I'm so confused with politics at this point on social media because all right,
Marine Le Pen.
I don't. All right, that was Corey saying something about Marie Le Pen. All right, Trump got a bunch of people who are fanboys of him because like, all right, going to be anti-war, going to be somewhat separatist, going to be a non-politician in all ways. Then he bombed Syria and Afghanistan, and I have talked to one former someone who's of Afghanistani origin, and she tells me Syria and Afghanistan are two different issues, which I agree on. But the people who hated Trump about things in general liked his stance on Syria. Then people who liked Trump previously hated his stance on Syria. And I get that, but damn it, it makes the entire fucking field a hard thing to talk about.
At least it's being talked about and not thrown underneath the rug.
Exactly.
I am so not a political person. I did my civic duty, like years past. I would do my civic duty if my candidate didn't win. I was like, okay, the new president is. I'd clapped and I'm like, all right. I'm gonna be honest. I literally, and I've known about Trump since the '80s. So I spent a lot of time in New York City in my younger years on weekends. So I dated somebody who worked in the financial industry. So let's just say that. So his reputation was well known back then. And I feared, I'm going to be truthful, I feared for the country, and I still do with him.
I voted Libertarian this last election cycle, okay? Even though the particular Libertarian that was running was not the best Libertarian. That said, Hillary was not the best candidate either, and I felt both in the case of Hillary and Trump that the media was trying to put these two forward as the major candidates under the presumption that Hillary would win. And
Right. I mean, how many? What's the population in the U.S.? And then this is like these are the best two we can offer you. Somebody who's inherently corrupt, and who's somebody who treats everything like a marketing opportunity.
Yeah, and well, my biggest thing with Trump is he does not understand international, foreign affairs, and that is very dangerous, as we're seeing with North Korea.
Well,
and he's got an unhealthy. He has an unhealthy obsession with
that's what his cabinet's for. He's supposed to have advisors on that stuff.
Well. If his advisors are all acting like yes men, because if you stick your head up, or you gain too much influence, you get kicked the fuck out.
Right.
Except if you're somehow in the family.
Right.
But, Denise, did Hillary do that much better? Because quite frankly, in the Middle East, we tried for regime change, and
it didn't work.
We kicked out some bad dictators. But the shit did not get any better. It was probably better than the dictators.
This whole election, even before the winner was announced, I was weary. I absolutely did vote for Clinton. Did I vote for her because she was a woman? No. I definitely think she's got a cooler temperament.
I voted for Johnson because I was like, okay, he doesn't know what the fuck Aleppo is, but he wants to stay the fuck out of shit. And he's okay with legalizing about everything.
Yeah, he was okay with legalizing weed, so he had my vote there. But realistically, he wasn't going to win. And I think Jill Stein's off her fucking rocker.
Yeah. And Hillary, I saw what was it? TJ. Amazing guy. He posted a YouTube video with 15 minutes of Clinton lying about things, saying one thing and saying the other. And it felt like to me the media was forcing us to try to vote for either Hillary or Trump on this assumption that we'd automatically vote for Hillary. Well, that didn't fucking work out very well for the media.
No, this was definitely a black swan event.
But I ended up voting for Johnson because, even though I think Johnson kind of comes off as an idiot,
he does. He's a lovable idiot, though. He
was a lovable idiot. Yeah, I'd rather have the lovable idiot than the other two choices. That said, no offense, between Hillary and Trump, I prefer Trump. Because I think Trump will be far less effectual. I think he has far less sway. I think that we did not. All right, Trump is not a conservative. Trump is a fucking populist.
Yes.
I don't think he'll be as effective. I think he's going to do some dumb shit that's going to be cost ineffective, like the wall. Don't think it's going to be effective.
I don't think they're going to get that wall built.
Well,
no.
It's been law for 20 years and they've never funded it. It's not going to get built.
That said, all the people who give shit about Trump, about racism and the wall, there's a lot of quotes from Bill Clinton and other people in the 90s talk about walls and fences and other shit. I'm like,
all I'm saying, I know, And like I said, I'm not the most political person, but I'm like this. Like, okay, obviously, we got this man in office. What bugged me was like when everybody, like, okay, Trump won, right, or whatever, regardless how he won, fair, square, not fair, square, however, like, we still got to deal with this guy being in office.
Oh, so many people talking about illegitimacy, though, and talking about, well, we need to get rid of the electoral college. Yo, motherfucker, you would not be whining about the electoral college if your candidate won. Stop.
Exactly. Yes, and that's my whole point. Like, everybody, half the people that screaming all this crap don't even understand the laws of this country.
No,
they don't even know about how. It's like they don't even understand what they're chanting about. If you told them the sky was gonna be blue tomorrow, like red tomorrow, and depending on who's saying it, there would be some people that say the sky is red tomorrow. Just like a lot of people running around screaming the world is flat now all of a sudden. And it's just crazy, and alternative facts and all this other craziness. I'm like, just stick with whatever you believe, but just stop all this crazy shit, this crazy talk.
So listen to this.
Get your own form cults. I don't know.
So with this election, I have, because of the cyber aspect of it, of course, it definitely drew my attention. And I'm working on a research paper because I love writing research papers. Forensics. Now, I don't know if anybody's noticed this. We've been seeing a lot of bots.
Yes.
And, far more than normal. So I'm actually doing a paper where I'm tracking bots. Like sometimes I'll post something just to see if I attract bots, and then I'll trace them. And also like the news stories, and I'm tracing that back to like 4chan. And forensics isn't just, looking in somebody's computer to see what they've been doing, but also their behavior on the internet. And this ties into like artificial intelligence and stuff. We would need to know. I mean, that does tie into forensics when you're, trying to trace something back. Is this artificial intelligence or is this an actual person?
Right.
So, I've been spending a lot of time. I have a fake account on Facebook where I'm actually looking at this stuff, and I put together some really interesting research, and I will make that available to you guys when it's done after I get my grade.
Awesome.
And my findings were, I was even surprised at the sophistication of these AI bots. It's amazing. So, from that perspective, it definitely, piqued my interest. And then another thing was the voting machines. This came up in 2000. So it wasn't something that I had ever let go. And I had asked years ago if I could look at them, and I was denied. The margin of error in the 3 swing states, or the margin of loss, was exactly the same from a mathematical standpoint in each of the 3 states. So I found that fascinating. And then I was able to dig up where a computer scientist was paid to put software on voting machines that would add just a little bit, not enough for it to be significant.
What was that? What was the name of that documentary that came out in the early 2000s about hacking the default voting machines?
I don't remember, and I probably watched it.
Oh no, just I think it was like something for sale.
Oh, the democracy, the best democracy money can buy.
Right.
Let's finish up this talk of Amanda's real quick.
It's difficult to even fathom sometimes. Being crazy takes a huge toll on your social life. And sometimes there's nothing
I would not have a social life without being crazy.
What?
you can do to help.
Shut the front door, Crenshaw.
What the fuck, motherfucker? Fight me, bro. I see you at B-Sides Cleveland.
Hear about that?
Knowing what to do when you can help.
Me, you, and a Bloody Mary.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna get up there, man.
There's a great.
That's my 2 biggest B-sides right now are Nashville and Cleveland. Well, B-sides Las Vegas. Well, I like some of the people there, but most of the people can lick my anus. Like, get in there, get up deep in that anus, like lick in there, and like, make me feel it.
Really? You're giving them the crevice?
You mean giving your colon a tongue massage?
Oh my
Exactly.
gosh.
But
Flick your polyps, Crenshaw. Just get all up in there.
I really like. They're my favorite B-sides.
Article
Yikes!
the mine sent me. We were talking about his anxiety problems that he was dealing with.
Sorry, man.
And
Came
it's
over,
called
but
this is how you love someone.
I
with
had the cast
This
going.
is how you love someone with anxiety. A lot of the points were spot on, but like in different ways for each of us, because we both have different ways that it affects our lives. My favorite quote was, silence kills anyone with anxiety. It creates problems in their mind that aren't even there. It ends in apologies that aren't even needed. And that part pretty much describes me to a T. They talk about texting, like if you text the person or somebody texts me and they don't respond, especially like if I've recently opened up about something.
Do any of y'all have text anxiety? Like you text somebody and they take too long to respond and it freaks you all the fuck out?
Nah, nobody texts me.
No.
Sometimes it depends on the situation.
Yeah, it depends.
I've actually stopped. I have to say, in my old age, I'm like, fuck it, I don't care.
Old age. Define old age.
When I was younger, I would care about that. Now,
Give me a number.
I'm in my 40s.
Okay, I'm in my 40s too. That's not. Okay, even I feel like I'm old. So, okay, I'll give you old age. I'm 42 and I feel old.
Yeah, so.
Can I clear it up? 70 is old, okay? We're still young. Let's do it.
All right.
So in my 20s and 30s, I would probably be panicking, like, oh my God, why didn't they text me back? What's wrong? Now I'm like,
The thoughts just spiral. And then at the time, you realize it's not all logical. Just like talking about the people with OCD. In the studies and observing them, they realized that none of it was logical and none of it was not based on any fact whatsoever. They knew it was stupid, but it doesn't matter. It still happens. And the last thing is the phrase, it's okay, or asking how I can help can never be used enough. And nothing beats a blanket for it.
Blanket for it.
Not only have I gotten both a positive and negative.
What the fuck does this do?
She got DOSed.
I don't know.
Whatever. But a lot of times in the symptoms, they talk about how it's an intense fear.
What the fuck?
Or it's something that you're always thinking about and obsessed. A signal if I'm struggling, right? It's like you can use a safe word for your mental health. I'll just say pineapple.
We go backwards.
And they'll know what to do to help me. Mine happen a lot at conferences, but towards the end, so it's not now, don't worry. I personally think it's a combination of traveling. I work at home alone all day long, every day. And I have really no interaction with people. And then you're thrown into a 3-day conference with, couple hundred thousand, whatever people. And that's a huge shock, right, to the brain. And mixed with lack of sleep because, you party all night, sleep a couple hours, and then repeat. Bad diet. A lot of times before I would forget to take my medicine and forget to take my vitamins and not exercise when I travel. And I don't make that mistake anymore. I sometimes skip the exercising and, trade that off for a little bit more sleep. But I no longer forget to take my vitamins, my medication, because that just makes it happen so much quicker. Secondly, another thing you have to understand is that interacting with others is difficult, and they might just not feel like going out. Stupid, but it doesn't matter. It still happens. The phrase "it's okay" or asking how I can help can never be used enough, and nothing beats a blanket for it. Not only have I gotten both a positive and negative reactions about mental health, but almost everyone I've talked to in the last few years, when they talk about it, people have been surprised. they're funny, they're outgoing. They have all this stuff together, and people are surprised when they open up and talk about it, or they've been shamed into thinking it's their fault.
Well,
So it's not even.
What are you gonna say, Charles?
I was just gonna say, like, to her point, behind a huge smile is 1,000 tears. Like a lot of people, like I said, like she's saying too, a lot of things play a factor into mental health. Like she said, diet and lack of sleep, but sometimes with lack of sleep, it's because of something else. Lack of sleep is, that's anything. Yeah, tears of a clown. Yes. We're living in a time where so many things are happening. It's just like you don't know which way to turn sometimes. Especially a lot of the craziness that you see online, it kind of just weighs on your mind if you stay in that world for so long. And most people, and I call them civilians that are not in our field, they don't understand. It's like, whoa, you could just turn the computer off and that's it. Yeah, you may can turn the computer off, but you can't turn your mind off.
Exactly.
It's always there. Yes, Cameron. Scream it out. Let it out. Yes, there you go. Blow it out.
Blow it out your ass, Cameron.
Yeah, blow it out. But yeah, it's just one of those things where, unless you're in this field or unless you're in somebody's shoes or in their mind or whatever they've seen, can't really tell them that. I think the best medicine, the best medicine would be, like Amanda's saying, is just like talk about it, get it out there, and like I said, I applaud her for just even doing the presentation on it, because most people, you don't really see that too much. It's always a presentation on how to break something or defend against something, more so break, but the ice, I'll just put it that way, on this topic, and I hope to see more.
I agree. I think it's a very important topic. Does anybody follow Leslie Hacks for Pancakes? She's awesome.
Yeah.
I think
Bud.
I think Hacks for Pancakes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm following her.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's, I don't know her personally, and I would love to get to meet her someday. But
I think she's a carbohydrate extremist.
but she's awesome, and she's actually touched on mental health in her blogs and even on Twitter, which I found to be very brief. As has Bat. Does everybody follow Bat?
I follow Bat.
Yeah, she's awesome too. I have a lot of respect for these women.
Now who's that? What's her screen name?
Miss Bat.
MZ Bat.
Oh, MZ.
Bat with a Z on the end instead of an S. I think.
Oh yeah, I follow her too. Yes.
Easy to talk about in the beginning. You have all of those other things on top of it that make you want to bottle it.
I'm just gonna say, for the two black guys that are in this fucking stream, for a white guy, you gotta admit, Bob Ross has a respectable afro.
Yes, he does. That was
proper perm. Get your worm on, man.
Yeah, that was accidental, right? He permed his hair and then he was stuck with it.
I don't know. All I know is my beard pretty much acts like his fucking head, because I can do a geometric haircut in my fucking beard if I wanted to right now.
But who else had a respectable afro? I don't know what it looks like now. Richard Simmons.
That is true. He did.
He did.
Although I heard he's like.
That's not a wig?
That's not a wig. That's his hair.
Oh, I mean, is it a wig now?
Richard was
I don't know what it is now.
I know he's a recluse now, but he's trying to come out.
Yeah, this is like I put
that's a perfect example. You know what? Richard Simmons is a perfect example, because Richard Simmons led a life where he was always happy. Come on, put down the pancakes and flap those wings or whatever, right?
Flap those pancakes.
Yeah, he was always positive Patty, and now it's just like seemed like. Well, I don't know what's going on, but it seemed like the way the news reports is that he's self-destructing. Nobody's heard from him and everything else.
Well, I
Well,
heard.
it's not that he's self-destructing. It's just that something came up a few years back, and he kind of had to retreat because he didn't want to explain himself.
Right.
The fact that he got into a domestic situation with another dude, and after all those years of denying that he was of that lifestyle.
Gay. Okay.
What?
I mean,
I
What?
assume
What?
Richard's kind of gay. I'm okay.
What?
With
Richard Simmons
gay,
is
right?
I thought that everybody knew that already, though.
I thought he was
That's
gay.
what I'm saying.
I
It
don't know.
came out in the fucking 70s.
But I mean, no, he never came out about it. He just kind of, I'm just.
I'm sorry.
Oh man, the next thing you're gonna tell me is Rob Halford from Judas Priest is gay.
What about
Whatever.
the dude from Queen? Like he was incredibly gay.
Freddie
What?
Mercury.
Yes.
You've ruined my childhood.
You saw, like some woman he was in love with.
But he made some great songs.
He sure did.
We are
Yeah.
the champions, baby. That is on my top.
I am the one, the only one. I am the God of Kingdom Come. Give me the prize.
Hey,
Do you know
that's
what?
right.
Give me the prize.
Yep.
When I'm doing like my infosec labs,
Uh-huh.
I'm drunk.
like especially if they're pen testing, like if I'm like
Corey's
using
looking at me weird right
Metasploit or
now.
something,
Uh-huh.
I will play "I'm the Invisible Man." That's like my power song when I'm doing.
See, I'm
infosec
big in
labs.
the. I'm in Highlander. Y'all watch Highlander?
No. You know what my song is when I'm pen testing?
What?
Blinded by the light. Woo! I'm revved up like a deucer and a runner in the night. Blinded by the light. Ow! I
For
can
those of
say
you-
it.
Yo, Charles, back up.
Yes.
Charles, back up. Is that the right lyrics?
Yeah,
No,
it
I'm
actually
sorry.
did.
I'm wrapped up like a deucer and a runner in the night.
Deucer.
Blinded
What
by
the
the
fuck is a
light.
deucer?
Yeah, because
What?
it's not a
No,
deuce.
it's just the way I talk. Revved up like a deuce and then a runner in
Is
the
it a
night.
deuce or is it a douche?
Deuce.
Deuce. It's
I'm
a
really confused by that fucking
Deuce.
song,
Am I
man.
saying
I don't know what the hell they're saying.
deuce.
The lyrics confuse me, man.
All right,
The lyrics confuse you.
and don't
No.
tease me. Flash. That's one of my favorite songs by Queen.
I'm blinded by the light, revved up like a deuce. Another runner in the night.
Deuce. Okay, what is a
I'm
deuce
sorry.
in this context?
20 ounce.
For those of you just joining our program, you're listening to Karaoke InfoSec with your host, Adrian Crenshaw.
Oh shit.
I am the one, the only one. I am the God of King Come. Give me the
Can we
prize.
start jabberwalking?
Just give me the prize.
We
What?
got
I guess maybe. I guess
Wait,
maybe I'm
wait,
the.
Charles is correct.
Round Robin karaoke. Is that on right now?
I guess maybe I'm the only one during pen test that actually listens to rap. So
No, I do.
You know, I listen to all types of music. That's just
Boy,
one of my
just
favorite songs.
I listen to lyrics, and yes, Charles is correct. It is deuce.
Oh, this
I
dude.
thought it
See?
was douche.
No.
Corey is
By the
correct.
way,
Corey,
by the
Charles
way, I'm
and
a
Corey
Southern.
are correct. It is indeed deuce in the
Look at
night.
that. I know my lyrics.
Yeah, apparently you did. Because my brother used to always quote a song, like it says like "Guilty Feet Have Got No Rhythm." He used to always sing it as "Dirty Feet Have Got No Rhythm." I don't know if you know the song from the '80s I'm talking about, but all right, let's get through this. Let's finish Amanda's freaking video.
Okay.
And Bob Ross, he has a
So I
magnificent
want to show
intro.
you, talk to you about a few things our community is doing. One of them is ironin.com. It's IR0NIN.com, and it has it talks about semicolon project, which has to do with mental health, and a lot of things industry specific that we can do, or starting in the industry, those kind of resources. And the second one's this video from Mubix. One of my
Mubix!
To know each other, shake hands, find each other's Twitter handles.
Well, how the fuck did I rewind to the beginning?
That is why.
USMC vet.
I'm fast forwarding somewhat. Well, how many of you? I saw Rance's picture up to a bit. How many did you ever get to know Rance much?
I did cause the first DerbyCon I went to was 4, and then I got to hang around him for a few. Real nice guy, man, and just like when I saw that it was him, even though I haven't known him that long, but you know how like when you just meet people and you just vibe with them right off the bat.
Vance, Vance vibed with a whole lot of people. I mean, I think he passed away slightly after DerbyCon 5.
Yeah, he did. And every time, and even sometimes, I still listen to that old. I love that song that they picked for DerbyCon 5's closing video. Can't you see it's just raining outside?
Mm-hmm.
But I like that song. It's just it's just fitting. It's just fitting for that occasion.
Yeah, Dave picked those.
Oh, he picked those songs. Yeah, well, he picked a great song.
Agreed.
But there's a dark side to this story. It's too easy to disconnect. In this little darkness, when all you see is what's happening, or you can't see any further. There are many ways to help us that we are afraid to act, because one of the biggest biases is you don't have enough people to show. But you can let those around you know.
Yeah, moving's hard to understand this. Then we're talking about a video inside of a video inside of a video.
Well, one of the best phrases is just to be around. Be a true friend. Listen to me, please take a video. Or just tell your friends, your confidants, or your acquaintances.
I also put this point out that this is the last year that DerbyCon will be in the Hyatt. I love the open air atmosphere of the open atrium. It does have its problems though, but I love the beautiful shot that Mubik's included in his video. Sit your white ass down. I'm sorry, I'm talking to Corey.
He's super badass USMC vet. And he can talk about this stuff openly, so I feel like all of us should be able to. So let's do some hacking together. My phone, my DMs, my door, whatever, are always open for anybody else to talk to me. A lot of times when I'm feeling lonely, because like I said, I live in the middle of nowhere, Ohio, disconnected, whatever, I'll like tweet out.
Not true, Amanda. You blow me off all the time, bitch.
Talk to whoever, Twitter followers, my friends that live, all the way across the country. Talk to them about what they're working on, day-to-day stuff, how's things going in their family, just mess around, whatever. My kids get on and say hello to all my internet friends.
Hello, Amanda's kids.
So many resources that you have. You have resources in here. You have resources nationwide that you can use. I think going back to the survey, I didn't want to like spam you with like a million survey results because I figured that would be super boring. But I think the saddest part of the survey were two of the questions. One of them was, have you ever felt like you weren't worth much as a person? Over 50% of people answered yes.
Yes.
And over 40% said they thought their life wasn't worthwhile.
Sure.
I feel like having more of an open dialogue about this would kill it as a taboo thing to talk about. So I almost got all the way to the end too. Even if you don't like each other, like Rob said, a life is a life, and we've already lost too many. Here's some amazing nationwide organizations that you can call or text. A lot of us don't like talking on the phone, right? Some of these places you can go online and chat, so you don't necessarily have to call them. Super qualified people on the end of the line that deal with this stuff every day. They can talk you through whatever you're working through, or whatever you want if you think you have nowhere else to go. Finish up, I wanted to put a picture of a puppy up here because I realized how depressing this might be. And to recap 3 things that you should remember.
9, 10. Wood
1 is
cuddle.
that you're never alone. 2, get help if you need it. There's always options out there, from people sitting next to you to someone that you can call that's professional. And 3, be compassionate to others and communicate. We all had our struggles in life, some more than others, but you never know what's going on in someone else's mind. So thank you for listening. That's it. I managed to not to drop the F-bomb, but I didn't manage to cry on stage. That I finished 2 of my objectives. Yeah, I'm all done. Thank you so much.
Give her another round of applause.
All right, I think Amanda did a good fucking job of that fucking talk.
Yes, she did.
Y'all, so
Brave. It was really brave.
yeah, before we close this shit out for the night, does anybody have any final comments? Let's go my left to right. I'll call out your names. I see Cameron on my far left right now. So Cameron, give me your thoughts.
I love you, Amanda. Great job. Big balls, and I'm glad you showed them. So continue to do that and stay true to yourself. And I hope nothing but happiness for you and your family in the future.
Cool beans. Charles, your turn.
Well, Amanda, all I gotta say is keep on rocking. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you had the guts to stand up there and just literally just open up a door for more people to express themselves on this topic. And all I'm gonna say is rock on, girl. Ow!
All right, Denise, you're next on left to right. So lay your stuff out there.
Amanda, thank you so much for putting out there something that most people don't want to talk about. It took amazing bravery, and I admire you for it. And thank you for being an inspiration, not only to InfoSec, but to people dealing with emotional or mental issues. So keep rocking, girlfriend. And
Thanks,
thank
Nick.
you.
Jack, you're up next.
Let me see here. I don't know Amanda personally, but it was a refreshing talk. It beats the normal stuff that I typically come across. It was a great talk, and hopefully it opens up more doors.
Cool beans, Jack. All right, John, what's up with you?
Yeah, I hope this can open some doors for people that we can find some resources for people that need help in our field. It seems I kind of have this bias that it does affect people in IT more than other parts of society. I just hope that people can get the help they need.
Thank you much, John. And this is Irongeek here. I was one that was sort of making sure everything was set record. I wasn't able to attend most of our talk live because I was off setting up video in other rooms. But Amanda, thanks again for your talk. It was a good job. I hope to see you do a lot more keynotes, and I will probably be there to record. So everybody, good night, and thank you much for attending. I hope to see you all Wednesday at the major Irongeek Cast. Good night, folks.
Night.